It is Monday, and it feels like a Monday. Shout out if you guys work a 9 to 5. And double shout out if you work a 9 to 5 and then also have a creative project. Oh my God, my eyes are like so... It feels like I've been like crying, but I haven't been crying. That's what my eyes feel like right now. You know that like next day feeling when your eyes are just so tired? I feel like it's just the burning the candle at both ends is catching up to me. Because in addition to having the creative stuff, I've also had my in-laws here for the last couple of days, and I love them and they're wonderful. But it is, all the planning and then all of the cooking and getting ready. It takes a toll. You know what I mean? Like I tend to be the one who does that stuff. I like to do the planning, the organizing, the cruise director job because I'm the oldest child, right? I'm a people pleaser. I like to make sure everyone's having a good time. Everyone's comfortable. Everyone has what they need. It drives me crazy when I go somewhere with people and it doesn't have to be a strict plan, but let's talk about let's at least track our meals through the day so we aren't getting to 1 p.m. and everyone's like, I don't know, what should we get? Do you know what I mean? Like that makes me infuriated. So I, have a schedule and track everything. So yeah, I love to do it. It's a wonderful thing. But when you have job, side hustle, which is this, and also people visiting, people in town, it's a lot. And now I'm tired. I'm just very tired. I have a Virgo rising. So yeah. I am Pisces sun, Leo moon. Hello, and Virgo rising. Yeah, so it's been a lot. And then on top of that, I have been compiling DMs that I got about Jacob Berger like all afternoon. Multiple people reached out to me wanting to put in their 2 cents about the way that they have been mistreated, that people they know have been mistreated. One of them is even someone from his past, someone who's known him essentially his whole life. And we have those DMs tonight. We do have those DMs tonight, and we will talk about them. But my gosh, it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, Ethan and I both Leo moons. Hey, girly. But yeah, so I think the Virgo in me likes having a plan, the Leo in me likes the performing, and then the Pisces in me is like emotionally drained from entertaining, but also like reading these stories from people, and then also seeing the way that the people coming forward are being treated. It sucks. Yeah, drop your what do they call them? Like your main signs in chat. I forget what they're called. What is that fucking called? 3 main horoscope. Your big 3. But there's another word for it, right? Isn't there like an official word? Cardinal 3? Is it like your cardinal? Something like that. Something like that. Okay. Tonight's going to be a little disjointed just because my brain is fucking mush. The 3 deadly sins. Yes, Alex, is definitely that. All right. Yeah, so there's insane stuff ahead. And like people are saying in the comments, my mods who are wonderful, beautiful people, if you're enjoying the show, if you're liking it, give us a follow, give us a subby, give us a like. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. With peace and love. Continuing with the peace and love. This is probably the wrong time for me to talk about this because I'm just like, tonight. But I know that I'm saying this with peace and love, okay? I want to talk about misophonia for a second. Okay? On Friday, I did a show that was almost 4 hours. Thanks in part, almost a majority, to the Jacob Berger shit show, right? Or was that Saturday night? Was that Saturday night? I did a 4-hour stream. Was that Saturday, y'all? Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night. Not even a night I was supposed to be streaming. I did a 4-hour stream just about. It was like 3 hours and 40 minutes or something. During that time, I went to the bathroom, grabbed a little snack. Told y'all to grab yourselves a snack as well because, yeah, it was late. I hadn't eaten much and I needed a little something, you know? The eating, I would say, was a very small portion of that 4 hours, and I tried to mute my mic, especially when we were like watching videos, right? So it wouldn't be obnoxious. Despite my attempts, because I did anticipate this happening, right? Because I see it all the time for H3. Despite trying to some degree to limit like the chewing sounds, I got comments complaining about it. They were very, very nice, right? Everyone was very polite. But I feel like early on in this show, this stream, this relationship we are having, I need to set my own expectations, or I need to set your expectations for me by setting a boundary. And that boundary is that misophonia is simply something I cannot commit to successfully accommodating on this show. Like, I cannot tell you I won't eat on camera. I cannot tell you that I will mute every time that I'm chewing or smacking on accident or on purpose. I like to do food taste tests. And sometimes if I'm going long, I might need a little snack. So I can't say that I won't eat on camera. I can't say that there won't be mouth sounds, especially because I don't truly even know what that encompasses, and it seems to vary from person to person with this disorder, right? And again, we don't need to be like haters to these people, right? Like, they were very nice, but I'm just telling you, I cannot commit to being a safe place for that. Like, I can't. I can't do it because it seems like different noises bother different people. So if you have...
You've got mail.
I say eat more now. I just, like, I'm glad you're watching the show, and I have some suggestions for you, and I say these with peace and love. It might help not to watch the show live, right? So then you can, like, skip ahead. Even if you're, like, 20 minutes behind, that can be helpful, right? Don't watch in your headphones because that obviously amplifies the sound, right? And my microphone's pretty sensitive. I kind of need to bring up or lower the noise gate, or bring it up, one of those two, because I've noticed you can hear like nature sounds. I mean, I like it, but I don't know if that is also annoying for y'all. That's something I can easily fix. But I can't really mute the sounds of my face. The sounds my face makes when I do human things. So yeah, I would suggest not watching with headphones. Someone specifically mentioned that in headphones it sounds crazy, and it's like, watch without headphones? Like, I don't know what to tell you. And then third, because I was looking it up, I was like, what can you do for misophonia? That's probably mouth sounds to y'all.
You've got mail.
Oh. Boo gave $9.99. I am misophonia KF and that's my problem, not yours. Took my AirPods out, put it on speaker, and it wasn't bad at all.
Oh, thank you,
Not
Capo.
nearly as bad as Ethan Lamau. You did so well and you were very accommodating.
I was trying, right? Like covering my mouth, sitting away from the mic. I was even like muting it sometimes when I thought of it. So I was like, so yeah, I was looking up. I was like, is this like an exposure therapy thing? Because it kind of feels like a phobia. But again, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I've had to like overcome phobias, and I understand like you get triggered and you don't really know what to do. But I looked into it and it said cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can really be helpful for misophonia because it's often caused by underlying issues. So do with that what you will. If you haven't already looked into it or tried it, it might help you live a more comfortable life if it works, right? And I don't know if it will. And here's me just being completely candid. I think it's kind of impossible to expect no mouth sounds from a live streamer. Like I think I don't see that as a reasonable request. So I'm not entirely sure what result is expected from these comments. And I'm not saying this just at the lovely people who left comments for me, but like I constantly see it on H3 on the subreddit, right? And in the comments. And it's like, what exactly do you expect here, right? Like I don't know. But for anyone who has this condition, like I hope that you find a way to watch my stream that isn't upsetting to you. Like I said, try not watching it live. Try taking out the headphones. Like headphones will amplify any sort of like ASMR sounds, right? So, yeah, maybe this will get me canceled for being ableist or something. But I just wanted to say that. Someone's chewing on a stream, I'm watching it, take them out. Yeah, and like sometimes like I mean, I don't have this, but there are things that gross me out. Like, for example, Love Island. Love Island has a tendency to do these challenges where it's like a relay race where they have to like carry a food or beverage in their mouth and then spit it into their partner's mouth. I don't know why they do it. I don't know who came up with this, but it is so disgusting to me and my wife. So we just fast forward through it. I'm not like writing a letter to Love Island to be like, this triggers me, right? It's just something that like they do that grosses me out, right? And I know that like that's not the same as having something with like a real name and everything, but oh, the kissing noises I absolutely also fast forward through. You know? No, some parts of Love Island gross me out, but not the whole thing. So yeah, oh yeah, the milk challenge, like all this shit is so gross. And then like when they do like whipped cream stuff and they make them sit in it like for hours afterwards talking about things, you just know it fucking stinks. Hate it, right? So yeah, I just wanted to say that this is not, this show might not be conducive to having severe misophonia, like listening to this show, because I'm gonna eat things, I'm gonna make mouth sounds. It's not a lot of the time, right? Like that was maybe like 20 minutes of the show out of almost 4 hours. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just know that I cannot tell you I will never eat on camera again. And I don't really know what short of that I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, speed it up. That's a great idea, Captain Quasar. Speed it up, watch it, or slow it down. I don't know. There's lots of things that I think are gross, but I try not to let them be things other people do that I have no control over, and often they don't either. Yeah, and I know that sometimes you don't have control over it, and that's why I'm saying like this might be something that's caused by underlying issues, right? I think the condition of misophonia has gotten so much more visible because of the internet and mukbangs and streaming and stuff like that. And like the better microphones get, I think the more pronounced people's mouth sounds are, right? So I think there might be, and I'm not saying that was the case with these people, there might be a lot of people self-diagnosing and not understanding that there's something they can do to manage it, to cope with it, and maybe even like alleviate it to some degree. I don't know if it's like curable, right? But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. That was a long-winded thing. This would be a good time for a phobic overlay. Yeah, that's my most problematic take right there. Auditory processing disorders associated with autism as well. Yeah, sure. Totally get it. Oh my God, Ghost Bear is back, guys. Snarker of the pod, friend of the pod, friend of the show. Ghost Bear is in the house. Y'all, we got a little Snoopy Snarker to come back. That's really great. Yeah, I mean, my wife gets overstimulated by things like vacuuming, but I'm not going to not vacuum the house. I tell her to go out. Like, you know what I mean? Or I wait till she's out. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, guys. We got another Kate in chat too. Hey. All right, let's, first of all, I wanted to, well, first of all, we have to go here for this moment. We need to do a little French tangent for a moment, okay? Because it has come to my attention that Ethan has a new arch nemesis. And you all might have seen this coming, but I'm very excited to share the identity of Ethan Klein's latest arch nemesis. It is Michel Frompier. As soon... oh, hang on. Let me zoom this in because you can see the other shit for later. As soon as y'all started talking about Mike Frompier, I was like, oh, all I can think of is Pierre. Oh, fuck you, bitch. All I can think of is... Siri said, I won't respond to that. All I could think about was Pierre Escargot. So I had to put him in the bathtub, dans le bain. So this is Michel Frompier. He lives in the 6e arrondissement de Paris in an apartment full of couches. He likes to punch. And he comes from a family of Vichy French who said, bonjour, bienvenue, Monsieur Hitler. Viens là. Come on in, welcome. Welcome to our country. You can do your Nazi things here. So that's Michel Frompier. Thought you guys might like that. I made this last night, so that's a good bit. Just hopped in. Have you talked about the Pro Jared soundbite and how much the subreddit had to say about it? I haven't. Oh, excuse me. Let me just turn this off. Au revoir, Michel. Au revoir. Oh, thank you, Michel, for coming all the way from Paris. His little surrender flag. I know. I was like, damn, I made him look really cool. Like, he's never looked better. He's never looked good. Bonjour, Monsieur Michel. Bonjour, Monsieur Frompier. Comment ça va? Yes, it is a Kenan Thompson reference. This is Pierre Escargot from All That. As for the Pro Jared thing, I mean, yeah, I've seen how divisive it's been, but they talked about it a lot on the show. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure y'all watched the show, but how do you feel about the Pro Jared soundbite? I mean, did they do They did a poll and it was like 50-50. It was crazy. It doesn't bother me, but maybe that's because I don't listen to it in headphones, so it doesn't like make me jump. I like it when Zach plays it when Ethan makes a stupid joke that no one laughs at. Ear bleeding, but it was much better when the volume was turned down. Okay, so we're working on it. The audio was the issue. It was the audio. Hate the soundbite, but I didn't vote against it because Zach loves it. I know, and you know, Zach made a really good point that like, yeah, guys, we ride the new soundbites hard. This always happens. But I do think it was the loudness that was bothering people. Yeah, it'll fade. It'll fade like it always does, right? It's like a tattoo, right? It's like Hila's face tattoo. The darkness will fade and it'll be beautiful. You gotta let Zach cook. He is really a genius. Like the man is incredible. When the volume went down, it lost some of the funniness, I'll admit. Yeah, I can imagine that too. Yeah, I can't remember a bit that I've been like aggressively against. Well, I will say as far as like triggering fight or flight response, I cannot watch that like British actor guy that does all the crying videos. Do those bother anybody else? Oh, also, Alex, I think you should do a soundbite competition for the most hated soundbite. So like a reverse. A reverse of the one you just did. Lewis. I can't watch Lewis. I can't watch Lewis and I can't watch Infobren. Like something about the two of them makes me cringe. Like it's a real fight or flight response. Both of them, it's like the well, with Infobren, it's like the secondhand embarrassment. Like I'm such an empath. I just truly can't handle it. And I don't like pranks. Like I don't enjoy them at all. P.S. #1 fan. Yes to both. Okay. Yeah. I just can't do it. But, I don't even know which one I like. No, I think I could have Infobren on in the background, but Lewis, that's the one that goes right through me. I don't know what it is about him. I don't trust him. Like something about him. I don't know. Something's weird about him. That's how I feel. So cringe and make me feel uncomfy. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Infobren is tough, but chiropractor I also skip. You're right. I also skip the chiropractor stuff. See? And we just skip it. We're not in the fucking subreddit being like, stop doing these. Like, there's gonna be bits that people like and don't like. Someone said it. Like, the friction is what makes the show interesting, right? Infobren is way worse than Lewis? I think because if he comes on, I just don't pay attention. But Lewis, I can't. He's so loud, it's hard for me to ignore him. When Ethan does the over-the-top, ew, I can't do the chiropractor videos. I cannot do them. Especially the ones where they do like the thing through the nose and the mouth and the person's like suffocating and struggling. I cannot watch that shit. I love when people do the chiropractor stuff with like sandwiches or non-people things. That's cute. I do like that a lot. Okay, all right, one little funny thing, well, funny, but it's one little pro ACAB thing here before we get into like the actual show stuff. So I saw this, where did I see this? I don't remember. Okay, so this cop who was a DARE police officer lost his badge after his body cam footage captured him kissing a married school teacher inside an elementary school classroom while still in uniform and on duty. This dude had his fucking body cam on and got caught kissing his girlfriend, potentially his mistress. I don't know if he's married, but she definitely was. So I just thought this was crazy and just shows how dumb cops are. Like, you didn't know your body cam was on, bro? Let me move this over here. Like, how dumb are you? Okay, so let's see it. Ew, what? Talk about kissing noises. Here we go. Body cam on. What a more. Ew. I can't believe they released this. That feels like more than kissing. Okay.
Oh, God. Oh.
What the fuck? Headphones out. This is what you get. If you come at me for misophonia, I'm gonna give you a video of two white people sucking face in an elementary school classroom. Is he like fucking bricked up now? You are in an elementary school classroom.
Yeah.
I just gave everyone in chat misophonia. Oh. Shatner. It's so true. Oh, wow.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Dude, he like ran out of there. He is fucking bricked up. Dude, we gonna... Oh, I'm telling you. Are we gonna watch it again? Should we watch it again? I'll see you tomorrow. No, he's definitely got a huge boner, right? We got one no. We got two no's. You need tippy taps to hear your... How about my computer? Cleansing the timeline. Does that help? Does this help? Right? He was like, oh, after one kiss? And she was like, ugh. There was definitely something else going on in that moment. I bet she grabbed his little pee-pee. Sorry, that is one video I didn't pre-watch. I did not know where that was going, but I think we all... Well, we're all trauma bonded now, right? We're all trauma bonded over that. Any woman who has ever dealt with a man in an intimate situation just cringed so badly. Listen, I, by the grace of God, have not had to deal with that since high school. And I think at that point, they were supposed to be bricked up every time you were making out, right? You gotta keep doing impressions? Okay, well, as they come up. She grabbed his billy club real good. Oh God. Yeah, we all experienced it together. That's why we're here. Yeah, that's fine, but yeah, in private, I mean, it's probably like a compliment, right? I don't know. I'm gay. This may have ruined my evening, but glad to be on this journey with y'all. Yeah, this was actually hazing, so welcome. Welcome to the Gwamly, as y'all have dubbed us. All right, we have a couple timestamps from the show that we're gonna watch. Full disclosure here, as I said, I was in my DMs hard with people. Now I can't even say hard without thinking about that cops like oh sound, but I was in my DMs literally up until the minute we were. I had to go live, and even after, as you noticed, I was late. So I skimmed the episode, but I did enjoy hearing that Steiny of the Nelk Boys apparently has trouble going outside his house without being harassed since the fateful Netanyahu interview he and his little buddy there did. So here is Ethan talking about messaging with Steiny, and Steiny talking about the repercussions he's currently facing as a result of his really stupid decision.
I started lighting into them. I was finding pictures of them with their girlfriends, with their dad.
The hockey team.
And I'm like, oh, does dad know that you're a Nazi? Does your hockey team know that you're a Nazi? Does your girlfriend know that you're a Nazi? I mean, it seems fair considering, of course.
Now, right now he's talking about the guys that were harassing Harley at the music festival, and then it'll go into Steiny.
Well, you got to get my DMs with him, because he was in my DMs then, being like, saying he told me to make me famous. So I said gladly.
And
Look, I don't wish harassment on anyone, but he is dealing with the natural consequences of his stupidity. 100,000%. Okay, after this, let's put a pin in it, and then we'll have a conversation about the glasses. I'll add it to my notes.
He was really like kept doubling down and tripling down. So I was surprised that he said that. I'm not surprised that he said that to you. I'm surprised that whatever you sent his way had him make his account private and change his names.
That's the thing, is everybody acts
You don't
tough.
know you don't know the depth of the power of the foot soldiers, apparently. Like, I think this dude felt really confident because he was in an echo chamber of other Nazis, right? It seems like that dude from the festival had not stepped foot outside his little bubble in a while, and he got the full force of it.
Until the
listen, family
Yes, we obviously are going to talk about Taylor Lorenz as well.
pulls up.
People don't like racist people. And I think everybody in your life probably would not be down with you being so out and open, racist. So he said to me, make me famous, please. And he said, do you think...
They always say that, by the way. I've had people say that to me multiple times. Like, yeah, I need more views. You don't love that when it actually happens. You don't love it when it actually happens.
Hitler was evil. And I just did mind blown emoji. He says, well, do you have an answer? And I said, mass murdering people usually qualifies you as evil. Yes. He says, I love it.
I love mass
murdering
people.
And then he says, ask...
Here we go.
Hold on. You guys will love this. Why are you posting stories about me, bro? He's getting a little uncomfortable.
Make me famous, and then why are you posting stories about me, bro?
That you told me if Hitler was... you never told me if you thought Hitler was evil or not. And he says, ask Myron. Ask Nick. Ask Sneeko, which, ironically...
My God,
I then
no.
sent that... By the way, I screenshotted that and texted it to my boy, Steiny. And I said, hey, look, this Nazi just told me to talk to the 3 people you pulled up immediately following the interview with Netanyahu. Great job, you fucking piece of shit loser.
I'm so glad that Ethan is still going hard at Steiny. I'm so glad that he is still finding reasons to reach out to Steiny to let him know what a fucking loser he is. Like, the fact that Steiny really thought he was just going to be able to do this and either be praised for it or not have any pushback is crazy to me. And this is why I say, like, what Ethan is doing is important, right? Because he's had Steiny on the show several times and they've played poker together and they've had like an off-screen relationship. When Ethan says stuff like this to him, it's different than Ethan the stranger saying it to him. So when people are like, stop platforming Steiny, stop bringing him on the show, stop talking to him, stop trying to make him seem like a good person, which he never did. They're missing the point. They're missing the point that this is where Ethan is going with this stuff, right? He wants to get to a place in a relationship with these people where he can have some influence when he criticizes them. It's a slow build. It's a slow play. And I know that's not something that a lot of people appreciate on the internet, but it is necessary for people that are this deep in the weird alt-right gambling pipeline. Like, they need a lifeline to get out. And I'm not saying that Steiny will. I'm not saying that he's going to take the lifeline, but he deserves shame. And it's more powerful because it's coming from somebody who actually has a relationship with him and not just some random person on the internet dragging him. So while it might not be for you and it might make you uncomfortable to watch it, Ethan is doing a service that you don't have to do. He's doing it and you don't have to do it, right? So feel free to fast forward through it, but it is making an impact, right?
Shame on you.
People don't learn in a moment. It takes small repetitive steps. Yes, but the internet is like allergic to incrementalism, right? Speaking of alt-right gambling, are you excited for a move to Kick? Absolutely not. But I would be excited if all the crew members got $1 million each. I mean, that feels like Ethan will be doing more for the crew than Hassan has ever done for his mods or his friends. You know? But again, who knows how truthful any of that conversation was. They do a lot of bits on the show, Ghost Bear. You probably know that, though, because I have a feeling you watch it a lot if you know about the Kick thing. I think it's a good example for how we have more power to impact our friends than strangers do. Exactly. So and the thing is, like, it doesn't have to be everyone's job, right? Like, if you don't have the emotional bandwidth to confront people in your life because you're a marginalized person and just existing is enough for you and you don't want to take on that emotional labor, that's okay. But it's good that a white guy like Ethan is talking to other white guys like this and telling him how outraged he is. Is it going to make a difference? Is it going in one ear and out the other? Maybe, because like I said, Steiny and all his friends seem like they've got wet brain, and you can't really undo that with peace and love. Yeah, and so if they, as far as Kick goes, if they multi-stream, I'm happy. Would I switch if it's just Kick? Ugh. Let's hope it doesn't get there, right? Let's cross that bridge when we get to it. But I don't think it's at a point where we need to like be voicing concerns. It was a fly-by-night conversation. And we'll see what happens, right? Yeah, they wouldn't go to just Kick. They would, and like Dan said, they would lose so much of their audience, right? And I will say, as someone who has a pretty large audience on Instagram, it is nearly impossible to get people to come over to a different platform that they aren't already actively using. Like I think like 97,000 followers on Instagram. I got barely 1,000 people to come over to YouTube. I was like, oh, I'll get like a couple thousand to start. No. And that was like pulling teeth for weeks and weeks and weeks when I first tried to do like a little YouTube show. Because I wanted to do this. What we're doing here, right? I like streaming. I like talking about different stuff. And there was just like, if you are not already on YouTube, you will not come on YouTube. So I can't imagine a bunch of YouTubers switching Kick. Like, politics aside, morals aside, it's really about the brain's resistance to switching platforms. You know? You got a shout out on Leftovers H3, link it. All right, let's go back to Ethan talking to Steiny. Great little side quest, though. Thank you, Ghost Bear.
Go. How old do you think this guy is, by the way?
I'm so angry at Steiny.
He
Like,
can't
how
talk-
dare you?
It was
He can't talk no more. I heard he lost his voice.
He started to make me feel bad because he was like, dude, I can't leave my house. I know I fucked up. It's horrible.
So yeah, Steiny's saying that he can't leave his house. Oh well. The consequences of your actions. You apparently avoided them until you were in your 30s, little guy. Which is crazy because normal people have to deal with them all the time, right? Somehow until your 30s you avoided consequences, and it's like you were just pushing the boundary and pushing the boundary and pushing the boundary until you found out where the line was. And unfortunately for you, that line was really far out and people are really fucking pissed.
I'm scared. Bro, I just need a friend right now. He started doing like that whole thing.
But he had a
Discord link.
follow-up
Okay, thank
podcast
you.
with Bassem Youssef where he said 3 fucking words.
Yeah, it was like, how did it feel getting lectured to by
This fucking guy.
Bassem Youssef? But the problem is I told him. I said, don't do this.
Yep.
If you do this, be prepared. He told me ahead of times, and I warned them. And also, I've had several conversations about how his association with these 3 people in particular is very upsetting, especially because every time I get together with him, he wants to have conversations about how he's so against anti-Semitism and how he's so
Right. So, yeah. So Steiny considers Ethan a safe space to talk about this shit because he can't talk about it with any of his friends. Right. So in my opinion, it's good that Ethan has like a little bit of a connection with him, especially because he isn't just like letting him off the hook. Right. Like, that's an important distinction that people miss. It's like, oh, he's just like hanging out with Trumpers. No. He called Steiny like the biggest fuck up in the world, right? Like, he's not letting these people off the hook easily at all. So yeah, that was let me see if there's anything else in this little bit here.
troubled against it in conversations about how how his association with these 3 people in particular is very upsetting, especially because every time I get together with him, he wants to have conversations about how he's so against anti-Semitism and how he's so troubled against it. It's like, really?
Well, I think Steiny always wanting to talk to Ethan about that. One, it's an outlet, right? Because he and Ethan do have that in common, but also I think it's his guilt, right? Because I think it's easy to ignore your guilt when you're surrounded with people that are just gassing you up to do whatever you can to get more money. But then when you're around like a real person with real values, it's like holding up a mirror to yourself, right?
Really?
He may be in the abstract, but when it comes to the reality
he's
of
one
like
of
how
the
he operates
greatest,
in life.
It's peer pressure too, right? Like, he's such a fucking baby. He's such a child that peer pressure just works on him. He lets himself be talked into and led to do anything, right? And that's his fault. He's succumbing to peer pressure at 30 years old. These men are children.
I mean, of all the people online, bringing these 3 guys on immediately after Netanyahu, you're doing more damage to Jewish people than pretty much anyone. I mean, you platformed these 3 people together.
He's the loser kid who will do anything to keep hanging out with the cool kids. Yeah, to me, he gives the vibe of like the rich kid who will do anything to hang out with the cool kids. And like he's only with them because he's rich. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the financial greed aspect of it for sure. Why I'm no longer dating men. Hey, lesbian tangent. Let's go. Shout out Kate for not dating men anymore. We love that for you, Kate. Welcome to the club. So happy for you. So happy for you. I'm not going to tell you it's always going to be easy because I've got 20 years of stories of dating women, but at least there's orgasms. No shade, guys. Maybe a little bit of shade.
Chill.
So he says, ask Myron, ask Nick, ask Nico. Says, it's, hey, Steiny, this you?
How old do you think that guy is, by the way? Because watching those shows.
All right, so there's that. Okay. Oh, we wanted to talk about the glasses. Let's do that before we move on to the next little bit from Harley's visit. What are we thinking about the glasses? I'll tell you how I feel about it. I'm really upset with the snark community, with Anissa and Ian and everyone else who has made Ethan feel self-conscious about his neurological disorder. I think that as adults, we should be able to disagree with people, even vehemently, without being fucking ableist. And now we're at a point when Ethan feels so insecure and rattled by the constant references to his Tourette's that he actually wants to alter his appearance in order to not scare people away. I'm hoping this was just like a bit for the day, because I miss seeing his eyes. I miss seeing his expressive eyes. 50% of chat saying they dig it. I think it was just based on the look and not that he needs to cover up for, for appearance's sake. But I mean, and it's not like Ethan has never shown that he cares what people think about him before, right? Like the way he used to talk about himself when he was fat made me so sad. Because I loved Jolly Ethan just like I love this Ethan, and he was often very mean to himself. And I'm not going to say that like the constant fat jokes and insults that came at him from other people was not exacerbating that, right? It does seem like he also grew up in a pretty fat phobic house. Because like the way Donna would talk about his body and how like scared she was for him kind of gave me the vibes of that. You know? I think he was making a point, a different way to address the snarkers about attacking his disability. That's possible. And Hila did it too. Yeah, like Hila, and we know that Hila has talked about her issues with her body as well, right? So I think, yeah, I mean, he's got body stuff, just like all of us have some degree. I mean, a lot of us have some degree of like body dysmorphia or just like not always feeling great about ourselves, right? But it's all magnified when you're on camera for so many hours a week, and also people are just so gross to you. Super progressive lefties bullying him for something he can't control. Exactly. Again, I say these are the leaders. These are the people we're supposed to be following. R.I.P. our Jolly King. I know. I'm happy for whatever body he wants to be in, right? Like I'm happy if and that he is happy. But Jolly Ethan was just such a sweetie, you know? It's actually sad, to be honest. I have something called Tourettic OCD, and I have a lot of tic-like symptoms, and I eventually had to bring it up to my manager when it was flaring last year and affecting my work. Yeah, I mean, OCD in general has some tics. Like, I have OCD, and I definitely have, because of that, have developed some little tics. Especially when I'm, like, very anxious. We will always have fat. Yeah. Yeah, he looks great. But I also thought he looked great before. Like, the discourse around Ethan's body has always really upset me. Like, it's something that I've held my tongue about in the Reddit, because I just don't, as a fat person, I don't want to fucking be concern trolled. Do you know what I mean? Because the concern trolling comes in a lot of forms, and a lot of it is directed toward fat people. Even just leg shaking gets people mad at you sometimes. Yeah, because it like makes other people anxious, right? We will always have fat, but I love that anyway. I think what gets to him the most is that Snark uses his tics to prove he's on drugs. Exactly. Exactly. The coughing complaint pissing me the fuck off because he said it was a tic and people kept flaming him. Well, yeah, and like people are like, oh, he's on coke. That's what you do after you do coke. It's like, you people have never left your fucking house. He looks good always, but it's true he looks healthier. Yeah, but then at the same, this is the problem with being fat online at any point in your life, is that if and when you lose weight, then you're on drugs, right? It used to be just like crack, meth, you're like a fucking tweaker, you look anorexic, right? There's just, you can't find the happy medium. But now, in addition to that, it's fucking Ozempic, you're fucking lazy. So you were lazy when you were fat, and then when you take medicine to not be fat anymore, then you're still lazy. You're still not good enough because you got to thinness in a way that now the goalpost has moved, and now skinny people don't respect that, right? It's like impossible. My 9-year-old son had a cough. I told him to stop with the crack immediately. So brave. Yeah. The way people actually started listening to Ethan after he lost weight, only to start attacking his tics again. A tics instead. The fat phobia and ableism is crazy. Exactly, right? I mean, we have that Keemstar soundbite. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like he's just making more sense now that he's skinny. And it's like, Keem, you're so close to the point. You just hate fat people. You just hate fat people. And you think they're stupid. Like, the amount of times I have been called fat in every sense, in every possible direction, for having opinions on the internet. It's like, being fat doesn't mean I'm wrong. Two completely different things, you know? But they expect it to upset me because it is kind of like universally understood that being fat is disgusting, you know? Like, they make that assumption. But little do they know, I'm so far outside of the status quo and of like the culture of fat phobia. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you think I look gross or fat in public. I don't care. I'm gonna wear the bikini because it's hot out and I think it's cute. I don't care. I'm fucking 40 years old. And I get laid. So leave your bullshit at the door. Maybe I only trust Ethan and find him consistent because I'm big and have tics. It suddenly makes sense. Fat is just an easy target. Well, that's the thing, right? It's like a physical thing, and people have assigned all kinds of stuff to it, like race. You know, you're lazy, you're disorganized, you're unmotivated, you're bad at your job because you're fat, like you can't do things, you know what I mean, or like you're greedy, you're poor. Like, these are all things that people assume if you're overweight. So yeah, it's crazy to see, crazy but not surprising to see leftists trafficking in this. And it's like, you all love fat people. You all have fat people in your life. So I don't understand how you turn around and like make fun of people for being fat. That's like so sad. Like, your mom's probably fat. Your dad's probably fat. You probably have an aunt that you love and she's fat as fucking hell and she cooks the best mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. That was my fat aunt. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. No self-control. Exactly. That's another one. Yeah, once he gets buff, he'll be on steroids. So yeah, you're seeing, if you haven't been like the target of fat phobia before, you are seeing it play out in towards Ethan. You're seeing how he was degraded for being fat and basically told he shouldn't go outside. But now that he is thin, he didn't do it the right way. And he didn't earn it the right way. But also, if you go to the gym and you're fat and you try to earn it the right way, then you're filmed by skinny people in the gym and made fun of. And are basically told that you shouldn't be in the gym, you're disgusting and you need to go home. So it's like, we cannot win. And shame doesn't work. Shame doesn't make people skinnier. If it did, we would all be Kate Moss. What it does do is it gives people eating disorders. I will tell you right now, I've never been more successful in my career. I have never been more successful online. I have never made more money. I have never been more fulfilled in my life. I have never had better sex. I have never, been in a better place mentally. And I am the fattest I have ever been. The things are not connected. So if you are holding yourself back from doing stuff because you're fat, like I can't look for another job until I lose this much weight. I can't go on vacation until I lose this much weight. I can't get married until I lose this much weight. I can't go back to school until I... Stop. Fucking do it. No one cares that you're fat. Everyone knows what you look like. Everyone sees you every day. The people you love see you every day, right? They're not throwing up on you. You know what I mean? Like, just do it, man. Be in the pictures. Let your arms out in the summertime. Let them fly. It's just fucking bodies. Go to the beach, wear the bathing suit you want. If you actually go to the beach just look around. Because I think in our minds as fat people, we think if we go to the beach, it's just all really skinny people, really fit, tan people, and they're all just looking at us for being fat and outside. But if you look around, there are all different bodies on the beach. There are fat ass men in little Speedos walking around. There are big ladies in their bikinis. No one gives a fuck. No one cares. No one is looking at you. Of all the things, no one is looking at you. Literally. Like, that's when I started wearing bikinis to the beach. I would see like these older, like pasty European ladies, like Eastern European ladies, just bikinis walking around. And I'm like, I look at her, I'm not like, ew, gross. It's just skin and fat. Like, who fucking cares? You know? Dude, wear the bikini. Oh, you gotta look up. Okay, hang on. Let's talk about, let's side quest for a second. And let's talk about the best fucking bikinis that I've found this summer. My sister loved mine so much that she bought like 5 or 6 different versions of it. Because we both some big bitches. And she had never worn a bikini before. Like, my sister is 2 years younger than me, and she was wearing like very like matronly bathing suits, right? Like with the skirt and everything. But I think seeing that you could be bigger and like wear a bikini and it looks good, she was like, I want all of them. And she bought like multiple colors of the same bathing suit, like the same style. It's also like just so much easier to like go to the bathroom in a 2-piece. So here is, let me find it, y'all. Let me find the one that I really, really love. I like this specifically because I got some big tatas. I got some big tits, like big swinging tits of justice. And so, these have like really good support too. So let's see. Swim tops. Justice titties. Okay. I mean, all of these are great. It's Bloom Chic. I don't know if y'all follow Bloom Chic or but like I think it's this variety my sister got. It's got like a ruffle, but like it's got great support. The bottoms go almost up to the bottom of the top. But you could also don't have to. Like you can like ruche it down. It's got pretty colors. You can mix and match, stuff like that. Look at this one. I might need to get this one. Like, look how cute this is. Just shows a little midi. Everything else is tucked away if you want it to be, or you can just pull it down and go crazy. Nice back here. It's not just like a little string. Like you can just tell that it's really supportive. These straps are great. I gotta get that one. My sister has a pool. I need to get that one. Where are the ones that I really, really like? This one. I got I got the purple and the black of this one, I believe. Yeah. I just love like the rickrack on it. And you can do the straps in different ways, I think. Mine's crisscross right now, but like look how cute that is. And there's plenty of room in the front here for your fupa. And it's just they're so comfortable and they are very good quality. Like I haven't bought anything else from this site. But oh, look at this sick one. And they're like interesting, you know, like they just have something interesting going on. And they have different kinds of bottoms. I just like the regular, but they do have like a biker short as well, if that's what you want. So yeah, check out Bloom Chic. I mean, they got cute shit on here. I also kind of like these ones that have like the tank and then like the side is out. That's kind of cute. I mean, for me, it's like a little too modest for me, but this would be good like a maternity bathing suit, right? Like it's got room in it. So yeah, check it out, guys. Lots of cute ones, right? Like, cause it's so hard to find a bathing suit sometimes that's actually cute. Ooh, I like this colorway. I like that colorway. I might need to get that one. Okay, sorry, off track. But yeah, so that's where I found my favorite bikinis this year. Shit, girlie, you have ruined me with this website. Paycheck is supposed to stay in my bank. Yeah, they have cute stuff. My sister got a bunch of cute dresses there before she went on vacation. I'm all belly. Do you think this would look good on an apple? I have tits and belly. I would say I'm pretty apple shaped. Yes, you will look great. You will look great. Especially because the bottoms have so much room. Like they have like ruching and it just looks really nice. So yeah, get into it. I mean, buy one and see if it works, right? But I think you'll be happy. Less tits, more apple. Yeah, that happens. Oh my God. Can you guys like let me know if you get a bikini? It doesn't have to be from that site, obviously, not sponsored, but I want to know how it feels. I think you're going to be surprised. Oh yeah, there's apple shape. Oh my God, welcome boys. We learned what our body shape was from fucking like Cosmo and like YM when we were like 12 years old. Oh, ThreadUp will get you there cheaper. That's awesome. We got apple shape. We got pear shape. I don't remember the other shapes. And I was like, I don't know which one I am. It's like, bitch, because you haven't stopped developing yet. You don't know what you are. Potato shape. Hourglass. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. All right. We talked about the glasses. I don't really care about that. Okay. Let's have this conversation. I mean, I'm sure you guys had a little bit of it on the actual show chat, but now you're in my office. So let's talk about
more damage to
what the F? Okay, there we go. Wait, why did that's weird. Hang on.
Well, it's not really.
Okay. So let's talk about Adam and Eve for a second. Durian shaped. Yes, that's the thing. They're difficult to pee in. Like, it's so much better. It is so much better to pee in a two-piece. Like, getting that shit up over your back. Okay, my mom didn't let me buy or wear bikinis growing up because I always had a belly. Surely that didn't cause me all sorts of issues. Girl, same. And I was not fat at all. Like, our moms fucked us up in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, and I still see, like, insecurity sometimes with my mom. And I'm like, girl, free yourself. Free yourself. I can't wear one pieces because my tits are too big for my body. Oof, I feel that, girl. Pulling the panties to the side, I'm sorry, it never works. I always get pee on the bottoms. Same for my mom, but she is also a super conservative Hindu woman. I think on some level, women all over the world are the same, except in like a few societies where being a bigger person is not seen as like slovenly and disgusting. One time I was using a porta potty at a football game wearing a romper. Oh, God. And if you didn't know, men, you were fully naked using the bathroom with a romper, and someone opened the door on me. Oh, my God. Yeah, you definitely got to know what the bathroom situation is if you are going to rock a romper, for sure. My own sister called me skinny fat. Oh, my God. Our parents are our first bullies, and our siblings are our second bullies. Let's be real. Roll Tide. My mom told me little girls in bikinis were hoochies and make me feel better about being big and wearing a one piece, and I still feel awful for falling for that narrative. Oh, it sounds like she was just doing the best with what she had, you know? I'm going to start describing myself as celery shaped. Well, I have a celery shape, so what kind of pants do you think would be best for me? I mean, my mom said to my sister and I, because in the early 2000s, pants were like the lowest rise they could ever be, right? I mean, they sat like just above your fucking pubic bone a lot of the time. And so your shirt, and the shirts were tiny too, right? So everything like rode up or rode down or whatever. And my mom was always like, "You're not Britney Spears. Put your midriff away." And she would say things like, Britney Spears is one of those people that has to try really hard to be skinny. And if she didn't try so hard, she would be really fat. She's just like, you can tell looking at her body type. And I'm like, maybe she wasn't wrong, but also like, it wasn't the end of the world that like midriffs were out. You know what I mean? Some men get to shop at big and tall shops, and honestly, that sounds so fun, like an amusement park. Yeah, I know. Then we get Lane Bryant, which in high school we called Lane Giant. Me and the other, fat kids. I think because Britney has a low center of gravity, that's why my mom said that. There are no hoochies here. The moms of daughters in bikinis are not hoochies. Let's not say that. Okay. Let's talk about Adam and Eve. Let's have a philosophical conversation now that we've covered fat phobia, and I think we've solved it. So good job, gang.
I had a philosophical question you wanted to throw to me.
I did?
Yeah, you forget already?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not really philosophical. I guess it's a little philosophical.
How is it not? How is that anything but
That's true.
What started it this morning?
You asked me.
Yeah, but there
No, sadly, no brand deal. I just want to share stuff with you guys if it makes me happy.
was a reason.
Ghost Bear is being mean? Yeah, feel free to get rid of him then. We tried our best, right?
Anyways, I guess it doesn't matter what the reason. If you were in the Garden of Eden, would you eat the apple?
Okay, you think you're so clever.
What do y'all think? Would you eat the apple? You're in the Garden of Eden. Let's take it. Okay, let's say you're Eve. Everyone pretend you're Eve. If you're Eve and the snake's like, "Hey girl, this apple will make you like super smart." I don't know why the snake is gay, but he is. She'd be like, "Yes." I'm so tired. So would you guys eat the apple? Was Eve also apple shaped? Great question. Well, you got to put yourself in the mind of Eve, right? Like I don't think she knew to be aware of deception. Like the snake wasn't an established symbol of trickery, right? He was like the first snake. Just like she was the first woman. Gay snake. I'd eat the apple if it was endless time. I wouldn't fall for the snake, although I've fallen for snakes. Yeah, same. I'm so autistic I couldn't eat an apple if God himself compelled me. More gay snake voice, please. Hey, Eve, what's going on, sis? Listen, God doesn't want me to tell you this, but this little tree over here, she is just like so pretty, and she has so many apples. They're just like falling on the ground. There's so many of them. And like, I tried one and it's like so good. It's like the best thing in this garden. So like, do you want an apple? Because I'll like totally get you one. And then we'll both be super smart together and we can like fucking get out of here. We can like leave Adam behind because he's so lame. To be honest, it's only referred to as a fruit, so it might not be an apple. Oh, okay. Would you eat the durian of wisdom? Durian? That leaf bikini eats the house down. Boots. Mama. Pop off, sis. Come on, season 6. Let's get sickening. Thank you, Clay. If the fruit was a durian, we wouldn't be in this shithole. What about the non-poisonous berries in the snakeless bush? It was probably a fig. Yeah, probably. That makes sense. I'd take a nibble. Yeah, so if it was like, you'll gain all the wisdom. I mean, I would be like, hell yeah, let's go. Eve should have used the snake like a whip and beat the piss out of Adam. Hell yeah. Eve was giving Trixie Mattel red apple look from All Stars. Oh my God, that apple look. I loved it so much. I had a kid with a man who was an addict, and apple would be my best choice of the year at this point. Oh, Kate, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was married to an addict too. It was terrible. We don't gatekeep yummy fruits here. Sold, I'm eating the apple. Yeah, I mean, especially if you're just sitting around some fucking garden. Meanwhile, it's some fucking garden. It's the Garden of Eden, right? You got to imagine it's amazing, but who knows? So yeah, I'm definitely listening to the gay snake, and I'm eating that apple. Boots the house down to the core, mama. The thing that I get hung up on is that Eve ate the apple and then she didn't look at Adam with all of her wisdom and be like, who the fuck is this idiot? Right? Seems like a flaw in the plan. But that's a lesbian tangent. Apple's the gateway fruit. Yeah. And of course Eve gets blamed for it, right? Of course she gets blamed for it. Oh. All right. Then there was the Labubu situation, which honestly, the best part of it to me was the comment section on her video. Like this person saying, as a black Labubu, I forgive her.
Holding her hair like this.
This is crazy. Like that
this
shit was crazy.
Really funny.
As a black Labubu, I forgive her. Girl,
like this comment down here, I'm dead as hell. Labubu blackface is a crazy reason to get canceled. Like just imagine saying Labubu blackface to someone even like last year, and they would literally have no idea what you're talking about. I feel like that's a phrase that would send a Victorian person into a coma. Sorry, babes, I didn't know it was racist, innit? I didn't know. We don't have black people here, do we? Oh, sorry, I guess we do. Sorry, love. Sorry. What's the topic? I did a little racism. Sorry about that. She did blackface on a Labubu, and they did surgery on a grape, have the same energy. Girl, like, how do you paint that? Like, I understand that blackface has a very specific history in the U.S., right? But it's 2025. and you are a full grown ass woman. Like, I'm tired of white people the world over being like, I don't know what racism is. I never done it before. You know what I mean? How do you, like, history aside, the last like decade, we have seen people constantly being raked over the coals for dressing or painting their face different racial colors for Halloween. Like, you can't tell me that isn't happening in the UK. However, it does seem like the UK is a little bit behind the curve. At least a little behind the curve compared to the US, which makes sense because we're the ones with the crazy history of slavery, although the British did colonize like the whole world and exploit everyone. But we have like that specific history with blackface. This was written in 2020 and they were just taking shows that featured blackface off a streaming platform in the UK. Nathan, what's up, buddy? Congratulations, by the way. Nathan's engaged. Nathan is fianced. What do you want to talk about, brother? I'm happy to talk to you. Oh my God, Jacob Berger. We haven't even gotten there yet. We're about to get there though. Honestly, we can skip right to that since you're here. I'll give you a rundown because it's going to be long. The segment's going to be long. But I value your time, King. Jacob Berger is an actor. Some would call him a failed actor who became a TikTok creator. He used to do comedy videos where he dressed up as a cop and interacted with black people. Some of them in very racist ways. And then when October 7th happened and after that, he became like hardcore pro-Palestine, and like his entire internet presence became about supporting the people of Palestine and fighting against the genocide. Seemed great, especially because he is a Jewish man, and that was like the center of his point of view on this, was that I'm a Jewish guy, I'm out here in the streets, I love Palestinian people, free Palestine, fuck Israel, right? So he got a lot of attention, a lot of adulation. People were really excited to have a Jewish person lending their voice to this, right? But it turns out he's been using it for nefarious means. So last stream was kind of the beginning of the end, or was like the tipping point. So we talked about Berger being exposed on Twitter by a fellow activist who is actually Palestinian. She came with a ton of receipts about him doing things like making Palestinian children pretend they were orphans in videos for social media donations. Again, this is all alleged. And we will show his response, and then we will show the stuff that I have gotten since his response. Using his time on the Handala, the flotilla going to Gaza, to solicit nudes from viewers. Like, he went live and they were like, thank you so much. And he was like, oh, if you're really grateful, you should send me nudes. Sounds lousy. Yeah, wicked lousy. Fetishizing women of color, most recently Arab women, but before that, Latino women and black women. Very, very openly in all of these like joking videos. Really poor taste. And then, like I said, LARPing as a cop came before this, and making offensive videos that exploited black people's pain at the hands of police. But again, it was like the pretending he was a cop, but he was one of the good ones, right? That would like dance at the cookout with black people. Similarly to like, I'm a good Jew, I'm here supporting Gaza, right? Well, it gets even worse tonight. But let's start with his response here. This is what he put out in direct response to the the woman on Instagram, the activist Nardine, who is in New York, I believe. She's a law student, and she's Palestinian. So this is what he had to say about all of her accusations that she
Recently,
leveled.
I've come under attack with some very serious allegations leveled at me.
First of all, coming out the gate saying, I'm under attack. This is the kind of video that you make before you make a huge apology and like delete your whole account, right? This is one of those very defensive videos being like, I didn't do anything. Like we saw Logan Paul do to CoffeeZilla, right? But here we go.
From another figure in the Palestinian movement that I assure you are not true.
Another figure, a Palestinian woman, connected with Palestinian women, Palestinian organizations, Egyptian organizations.
Before I get to addressing each one of these lies, there's a huge part of the backstory of my relationship with Nardine and her organization that they're leaving out. I'm not just some random person she decided to target who she has never met before.
Yeah. See this part. Okay. So
we've been friends since I began going to protests and learning about Palestine.
That was him and Nardine. Okay. To me, the fact that she knows him and has known him for years, I believe her even more. I believe her even more. You know what I mean? What's happening with Nathan? Hello and thanks everyone. Sounds lousy. Did Nathan want to talk to me about something? Yeah, just hit me up on Discord. Okay, so yeah, so to me, him talking about how much he knows Nardine, like that doesn't mean that she owes you silence.
In October 2023. I admired Nardine greatly. I went to every rally I could and...
Yeah, we know you did, brother. We know you went to every rally you could.
More about the Palestinian struggle, and it showed me how important it was for us to have unity against Zionism. Even when I moved to Egypt, I would speak with her sister and...
Moved to Egypt. According to Nardine, he was living in Egypt rent-free and bragging about it, while other volunteers were doing all of the work. This is according to Nardine, and also the people that she has spoken with.
Honest about the charity work that I was doing out there and what living in Egypt was like as an American, and we spoke on a fairly regular basis as what I thought was really good friends. But then I briefly returned home after a few months, and Nardine and her crew ended up getting mad at me for doing a podcast interview with a
Let me tell you something about people like Mr. Berger. They always are ready to point out the reaction to their bad behavior, but they usually leave out the bad behavior or they minimize it, right? Why is Nardine tweeting talking shit about me on Twitter? I can't believe my eyes. So I guess Nardine has been doing this for a bit, right? This is January. Because you're hanging out with someone who talks mad shit about her and constantly talking shit about WOL, which is... I think it's Nardine's organization on Twitter. If you ever had respect for Nardine and us, you should take the criticisms seriously and humbly. Okay.
person I didn't know they had problems.
Oh shit! Fuck God! I did what Ethan does.
Recently, I've come on.
But yeah, so he was hanging out with someone that talks shit on her organization that's helping Palestinians.
She took to Twitter to essentially call me a grifter and accuse me of exploiting the Palestinians.
Okay, so she's been doing this for months. Hard to navigate the movement when so many recent activists emerge to clout chase and grift off Palestinian genocide. You think I don't notice and see you? You just haven't been called out yet because we have more important things to focus on, but your day will come. The day has arrived. And Nardine is not alone.
For my own ego.
So basically he's saying, she's mad at me because I hung out with people she didn't like. No. We have the receipts. I
was truly devastated at that time and didn't really understand why they all began to switch up on me and turn their back like I had done something so terrible.
You know who says that a lot? Drug addicts, alcoholics. Just put a pin in that.
especially since none of them ever even mentioned to me anything was ever wrong between us.
Okay, I'm absolutely not watching 8 minutes of this. Like, that's the amount of his statement we get. So basically, he is trying to discredit these women. And as you probably saw, the comment section do not pass the vibe check at all. I mean, everyone here is just still, I stand with you forever and for always. That makes no sense to me. Like, there's nothing he could do that would make you question him? Nardine is jealous of your large platform. Like, we're making this about platform size? Infighting is always idiotic, especially when there are bigger matters at hand. Listen to me. This matters. It doesn't matter if it's not the most important thing. People are being taken advantage of and abused, allegedly, by this man. That matters. That destabilizes the movement more than infighting. There's only infighting because people are protecting this guy and not listening to actual Palestinian women and Arab women. It's just detracting from the issues. Like, guys, how do you not see that you sound like the people that were complaining about Me Too? Oh, it's distracting. There's more important things going on. These women are just jealous. They're trying to get more clout. They're trying to get more money. Why didn't they say something sooner? Like, you literally are rape apologists. Being pro-Palestinian does not mean you are infallible. It doesn't mean that you are incapable of doing horrible things. And in fact, it is turning out that many people are using this movement to shield their bad behavior and to profit off of it. Opportunists are always going to try to infiltrate desperate causes, and people are feeling desperate right now, and so there's less vetting being done, right, of these people and their past. But I have information from his past. Someone who knew him for a long time, I'm talking decades, reached out to me. So we are going to read through those messages, as well as more messages from the person who supplied Nardine with the information about what happened in Egypt. That person was sent my video by another activist, and I actually do not know their gender, they sent me so much stuff. So I'm going to go get more water because it's going to be a lot of reading. I suggest y'all do the same, take a pee-pee break, and we'll be back in 5, okay? Okay. we coming back? Come back into the room. Open your eyes when you feel ready. Just flutter those eyelids. Oy vey, you guys buckle up because we have a lot to get through. Might actually just take these off for now. Nathan is awesome. Nathan, please add me on Discord because yeah, I am interested in what I just heard. I'm certainly interested in that. Love you, King. All right, so we're gonna start. Well, let's just start with this again. Michel Frompier. Just in case you did not see it, this is something I made. Ha 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 ha. Welcome, bienvenue. Je suis Michel Frompier. I am the arch nemesis of Ethan Klein. I love my bathtub. J'adore prendre un bain. I hate the Eiffel Tower, it is ugly. Bonsoir, bonsoir tout le monde. Monsieur Frompier, à l'appareil. Okay. I am so punchy because I'm tired. It literally feels like I have been crying. I swear I have not been crying. Did I cry in my sleep or something? Okay, anyway. We are going to talk tonight about the allegations that I received after Jacob's apology video. The first portion is coming from an activist who works with a mutual aid organization in Egypt helping Palestinians. I will not be sharing their name. I will not be sharing the organization because in Egypt, protesting is illegal. And what they are doing, helping Palestinian families, can be illegal. But at another time, I might ask you to donate to an org via Venmo. And it has nothing to do with this person's organization, okay? Le singe est dans l'arbre. I love Eddie Izzard. All right, so that is what we are starting with. This person reached out to me because another person, like a third person in, I think, Scotland, saw my video, shout out, and sent it to this mutual aid worker because it was known that this person has had a lot of negative interactions with Mr. Berger and his ilk. And as they are finding out, Jacob is just the tip of the iceberg, and that there's a whole lot of stuff going on. So here we go. Hi. So there's multiple people that are coming to me through this person. Just know that. There isn't really a good place for this. Oh, let me do this. I need to do like a frame or something so I can see y'all's chat as well. Oh, you ding dong. No negative self-talk, Kate. All right. There we go. Hi, we'd be happy to give you more info on what Jacob Berger has done in Egypt. Now, remember that Jacob moved to Egypt. Okay? Our mutual aid group has been on the ground since last February when people started evacuating from Gaza. Everything we do is quiet for a reason until he showed up and started putting the families at risk. So that's what they're talking about, the fact that they have to keep things quiet because certain forms of protest, or maybe all protests, I'm not entirely sure, are illegal in Egypt. And I think that includes mutual aid. We have screenshots and receipts from a lot of Palestinians who he screwed over. And I personally am in a group chat with all of them. So does this sound like it's just sour grapes? Does this sound like it's just Nardine being mad that Jacob went on a podcast that talked shit about her? Doesn't sound that way to me. Not to mention other receipts and screenshots we've got from people on the ground that he has screwed over, and even he's been kicked out of, so organizations on the ground, he's been kicked out of for filming without consent and claiming as his own to fundraise. So using these other organizations. He's not alone either. He's got a nice little group of well-known content creators that are all in on it, happy to share. You best believe I asked for names. So we have more names. As we get into this, remember, this is all alleged. Of course, Jacob, I am certain, denies all of this. Okay? Going forward, all of this is alleged. But it's by a mutual aid worker in Egypt, which to me kind of gives it a little bit of credence. Yeah, filming victims of a genocide without consent is crazy work. I can send you everything I have, although I think you might need hours to cover everything. And let me tell you, they sent me a lot of shit. And it clearly was not everything, right? Guys, is the bow too JoJo Siwa? I really like it. I like the silk scarf feature, but I don't know. Is it too JoJo? Also, I want these like underneath somehow. What are our thoughts about the bow? It's like my summer accessory, but I don't want to look stupid. And also, it's really hard. It's really hard to adjust it when the camera's backwards. There we go. Whatever. It's so cute. JoJo rocks. I mean, I am an actual lesbian, so maybe I'll just reclaim the bow. Okay, that looks dumb. Let's make the bow bigger. There we go. Back to it. Sorry, centering myself. All right. This is not one person. It's a very elaborate pyramid scheme, they are alleging. It involves a lot of players, some major and some minor. But what we found over the last few months, probably since January, is that no matter which loose end we try to follow, it leads to the same few people. This is cut off because some of it was like identifying information, just so y'all know. When people like Jacob and his cronies showed up last August for the first time with cameras and banners and the whole 9 yards and started interviewing these people on the street with backdrops and advertising this as some kind of influencer getaway to come show people what a saint you are. I had no idea that he was like advertising for people to move to Egypt. Insane. More influencers started showing up and doing the same thing, and they basically all ended up collaborating with each other to view farm. Literally using a tragedy of people escaping the worst genocide we've seen in our lifetime, right? And they're creating fucking hype houses in Egypt. Kate was the first gay YouTuber ever. Yes, I actually also threw the first stone at Stonewall. The first brick at Stonewall as well. Thank you. Jacob showed up to Egypt last August with a group of people who I'll give you names of, and took a bunch of Palestinian mothers and their children on a trip. I want to know more about this trip because that is weird, and it might be detailed in here. He advertised those women and children as widows and orphans. They were mothers and children, and they were not widows or orphans. He filmed them without consent, and he took them to a park that was owned by the armed forces. Everyone with 2 brain cells to rub together knows that protesting is illegal in Egypt. So basically, he was putting these people directly in danger. He stood in front of the armed forces and screamed "Free Palestine" in his obnoxious voice while laughing and making a joke of it. And there were volunteers at this trip who were from Gaza that were just looking to help out their community, and they had to answer to those officers. So he allegedly directly put people from Gaza in harm's way in Egypt with the country's armed forces. it sounds like it was a trip to farm views. But yeah, I want to know more information about this trip. If those officers had requested an ID on those volunteers, who knows what they would have done to them, because they were from Gaza and they don't have any rights in Egypt. Because it's not like America. You're not guaranteed anything if you're someone from out of the country by our Constitution. Of course, Trump is violating that right now, but in general, even visitors have rights in the U.S. Apparently, that's not the case in Egypt. He constantly put Palestinians at risk by filming them on the streets with banners behind them and cameras. Okay, so like any public sort of protest on behalf of Palestine, I guess, is illegal. But maybe that's just any in general. I'm not sure. And those mothers that he took on that trip repeatedly asked him and his group to remove the photos and videos from their social media pages because they didn't consent to those being posted in the first place, and their husbands are in Gaza alive. So these are not widows. And they saw those videos and immediately messaged their wives to ask why they're telling people that they are widows. So now he's causing like marital issues. I was put into a WhatsApp group with those women by one of our cases who is friends with a lot of them. And she was actually supposed to go on that trip with her child. What is this trip? Don't leave where you are to go somewhere with some fucking random American. Like in my opinion, he probably bribed them, right? She was supposed to go too, but her kid fell sick, so she couldn't. But after the trip, all of those women were in a group chat together and they were talking, and she immediately reached out to me and another one of my comrades who case manages, and they told us what happened. They sent screenshots and videos of them messaging these people to remove those posts, and they were either given very vile or flippant responses, or they were blocked. But none of the stuff was taken down. These are victims of a genocide. That Jacob and his ilk are acting all high and mighty, that they're supporting and listening to, that they are the voice for the voiceless, and they are blocking Palestinian women who are begging them to take their children's faces off the internet. Allegedly. The cynicism is insane. This is so disgusting. We've been trying since last August to expose this stuff, and anyone that we've reached out to help initially acted like they were going to help, but then they would end up getting pulled in by him too. Well, guess what? That ain't happening here, because we got no male faves. No male faves. I knew this motherfucker was dirty, in my opinion. Because when I went to ask if he had a comment, I should take that off for clips. When I went to ask if he had a comment before I did the initial coverage of this story, I had him blocked. I had never followed him, but his shit kept coming up and it was annoying me, and I knew that he was an opportunistic grifter, in my opinion, and so I fucking blocked him. So long ago that I forgot I did it. I didn't even realize that he had come across my feed on Instagram, but I guess he had. So guess what? You found the right one. Jacob and friends. Then come back to us and say, just take the win. He's not going to post anymore. And now I see those same people up his ass. Oh, God. But then... And that's the thing, these people who are now up his ass, they probably just wanted clout too, and he used it. It's the same way, Harvey Weinstein used his privilege, right? Used his position of power. Well, you just got to do this, and then I'll make you, literally famous, right? Yeah, just cover for me and cape for me and sweep for me, and I will, I'll put you on my TikTok where I have over 1 million followers. Disgusting. Oh, let's see. But then when this continued and he kept doing more stuff to jeopardize the work that we're doing very meticulously on the ground without bringing attention to ourselves or the families, which I can't even imagine the difficulty there, enough was enough. And he brought friends every time he came, each with a big platform and no response as to where the funds are. But if you listen, yeah, because we'll get to it. But if you listen to his justifications for everything, he sounds like a 12-year-old boy saying things like, I have written consent. Show us the consent. Where are these forms that you had people sign? They don't exist. Sounds like a 12-year-old boy. A lot of drug addicts have arrested development. Put a pin in that. The other day, he posted a video responding to allegations that were made about him, which we just watched a piece of, and he posted screenshots from a conversation that he had with my friend who started and runs a football club for 300 Palestinian children in Egypt. I am obsessed with this initiative. It's like a very pretty secret, private thing, and I'm trying to find a way for us to support it because I love that idea. I love the idea of helping kids be kids right now. And I think football is like really important to kids across the Middle East, right? So yeah, this is the conversation that we read last time. And let me just I want to get the full convo for you because as she says, or as they say, I genuinely do not know what this person's gender is. As they say, I just assume they're a woman because they're doing something nice. Oh, wait, hang on. Here's proof. Here's proof that I blocked him. I had him blocked when I went to look. Fuck, I don't have it. Do I not have it? Oh, it must have been put up on Twitter. Anyway, basically there's a section of the screenshots where he says to this person who runs this football camp, he himself is a local Egyptian and he does not have the social media because he never wants to post the kids to exploit them. And I can verify that. They sent me what he has for social media and it's like 3 posts. Months and months and months apart. Like they don't use social media. He was sitting at my house back in April when I was in Egypt most recently, and we were preparing to take the kids on a trip. So he was at my house helping count cash that we needed to pay to the village that we booked and the bus companies. As he was sitting there with me, he was telling me about how Jacob was continuing to fundraise using pictures and videos from his football practices, and he told him to stop. So apparently Jacob had gone to this camp and had clout farmed, right? And then afterwards, after not being involved with this camp at all, continued to use the content, the photos and videos of these children, these refugee children, to fundraise for God knows what. Told him to stop, and Jacob ignored the message. So he reached out to a lady who was organizing the fundraiser and told her what was going on, and she probably reached out to Jacob and got angry at him. I thought that very moment, my friend's phone goes off, and it's a bunch of angry messages from Jacob because that lady probably talked to him, and just the other day, Nardine posted these screenshots, which I showed you guys last time, which included him saying to this person, like, suck my dick, Allah will be the judge of you, like all this shit. I think I need to show you it because he leaves that screenshot out of his apology video. And it is pretty important, guys. He's like, I don't know, just had this conversation. I don't know why he's mad at me. You literally... He's such a piece of shit. Oh my God. All right, hang on. Look at this. You know how I said he was using the flotilla to solicit nudes? Confirmation. Chick sent me her nudes as a thank you for supporting Palestine. Let's make this a trend, ladies. I repeat, ladies, not dudes. Don't send me D-pics. It just keeps getting worse. Like, it just keeps getting worse. I'm literally looking for something else, and that's what I find. Okay. I gotta be getting close. Oh, here it goes. Here we go. So here are the screenshots. Hey, Jacob, how have you been? Basically, this is just him being nice and being like, it's weird that you're still using pictures from that day. And so now he's mad because he finally reaches out after the woman contacted him. why the fuck did you message the woman who helped us with the fundraiser? You're out of line, trying to put doubt and throw shade at us, telling her you don't know where your money, where money going. Straight up, fuck you, dude. We got other programs that need funding, okay? So he shared up through here. What he didn't share was this last paragraph. This is what he said to a Muslim man, as a Jewish man, a Jewish white American man. No one exploiting anyone. Beg, suck my dick, you greedy fuck. You was getting paid big salary for little work. Anything I posted was already approved. Mind your fucking business. You real scumbag for doing this. Allah will be your judge. Also, Ghost Bear. Ethan DM'd me to say he took down that post because he saw my video. So it was because he learned what a creep this guy was. Just saying. That's what you call, like, correcting your behavior. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay. Well, if he's gonna, if Ghost Gear's gonna be rude, then you can put him in a timeout. And if he's being really rude, you guys have the authority to do whatever you'd like. Snarkers can say, as long as they're not stupid and mean. You've been sitting on that dunk for the whole day, and now you played it beautifully. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, he says this to a Muslim man who is working to help the children refugees of Gaza who have witnessed a genocide of their own family members. He has the balls to tell this guy, or the delusion to tell this guy, who has most likely been Muslim his whole life, Allah will be your judge. Didn't show this one in his little apology video, let me tell you that. Didn't fucking show this little thread here. Yeah, rip Philo. Pour one out for Philo. Okay, so there's that. So they've been trying since last August. I'm glad that something's finally sticking now. Okay. The lady who posted the screenshots that I gave consent to kept my friend anonymous like a normal human. And if I send you the screen recording of that small piece where he's talking about my friend in the football club and claiming he has consent, I just spoke to my friend and I showed him that and he sent me a response that he's giving me consent to share. So just so you know, I asked for consent from these people. And I asked how much I was allowed to share, what I was allowed to share. These people wanted me to share everything but like names, faces, like they want this information out there. Every single time Jacob is asked about why he's filming these children, he says he has consent, but I dare anyone to find out where the hell are these consent forms. Yes, there should be a pretty simple video photo release form. If you are doing it to this degree, if you are making money off of this, especially working with such a sensitive population, you should definitely be covering your ass because none of these people gave him consent and their parents have complained multiple times. Children cannot give consent. Here is where it gets good. Well, it's all been insane, but he's been kicked out of every single event he shows up to because all he does is show up and film and act like he has anything to do with it. And then he uses that footage to fundraise, claiming he's helping those people when they have nothing to do with him and they have repeatedly told him not to show up. So even people in the actual movement hate him, right? All the people caping for him are people that he has like tricked with his content, in my opinion. Just the other day, one of my friends who has also done events in Egypt, and she is an American who lives there, sent me a video that she found on the Instagram page of this one charity called Peace Foundation UK. And they claim that all the photos and videos on their page are theirs. She found a bunch of videos from her event that she did not give anybody consent to use. And she knows who came and filmed. And she asked them to leave, and now they're using those videos on their page and fundraising falsely. Peace Foundation UK. Do not give them money, in my opinion. Well, one of those videos was mine. I did an event for my mutual aid group last December. It was an art therapy day in collaboration with my friend who has this football club and a center. I love that. We worked with nobody but him. So Jacob was the one who filmed this video that is now on Peace Foundation UK's site, using that content without consent to fundraise for whatever their cause claims to be. Taboo Club, which is what Jacob fundraises for all the time, and they are huge scammers too, in this person's opinion, I don't know, showed up and started filming. And immediately I told the girl, Mariam, to leave because the room that I was in had a bunch of girls under the age of 16 who I had consent from to film while they were painting. Think about being a teenage girl in Gaza. And you finally get some peace and quiet in a safe space for art therapy. In a country that is not your country, right? And some fucking guy and his little friends come busting in and start putting cameras in your face. The only other person in the room apart from me and the girls and two other of our female volunteers was my friend Sami, who is a well-known journalist from Gaza, and we paid him to come make a reel for us. So that is the only consented video happening to which the girls had consented. When Mariam is the girl from Taboo Club, I believe. Yes. When Mariam walked into the room and started filming, I told her, you need to leave. I'm not consenting to being filmed, and neither are these children. And those girls told me to get rid of her as well. The actual children are saying, I don't want them in this space because they were not comfortable with her being there and they had only given consent to me. So I asked her to leave, and then my friend sends me the video a couple nights ago that was posted back in December on that Instagram page, claiming that they had done this event, and I'm clearly in the video. So not only are they sharing her content without consent, they are also claiming that it's their event. This is criminal. This is criminal. So I commented on that post and I told them, you need to take this down because this is not your event, and I have receipts and I have a list of all the donors who sent me the supplies to take with me from the US to Egypt to do that event. Not to mention, one of my friends who also has a small organization that she runs in the UK who flew into Egypt to do that event with me, and we split the cost. We also have a WhatsApp group. So this is like receipts and receipts, receipts. You can clearly see us coming up with a name for the event and what day we would do it and what's girl man, whatever gender. Again, I have no idea. I've never seen this person. I'm assuming it's a woman because they're doing something great, but there are men who do great things too. That's just, oops. Oh no, it froze. It froze. That's just me being a misandrist. Typical dude behavior. Okay. So person, I totally believe you. And it's sad that you feel the need to defend the fact that this was your event, right? My friend who paid for half of the event also commented on that post to tell them to remove it, and so did my mutual aid group. And what did they do? They turned off the comments, and then they sent my mutual aid group a very nasty string of messages claiming that they did have consent and that we were just jealous. Who does that sound like? Sounds like Jacob to me, in my opinion. What they didn't know was that I run the mutual aid page with another one of my comrades, and I was the one they were messaging on the mutual aid page. And I told them very clearly, you do not have consent because I'm the one in the video, and I did not give you consent to use my likeness. And they continue to argue with me, saying that I was just jealous. Imagine accusing someone of being jealous as they're like helping shell-shocked children access their feelings through art. Like, what are we doing? Okay, so it wasn't their video. It sounds like it was the footage that Mariam from Taboo had taken that this person said you were not allowed to use, right? I said, it's really ridiculous that you're fighting with the person in the video who is telling you you do not have consent to use my face, and you're telling me, yes, I did get consent. Yeah, that's crazy making. That is crazy making. We also found a bunch of videos from my friend's football club practices that he had repeatedly told them to take down, and they just ignored him and continued to post them. Unbelievable. So this organization that Jacob works with just keeps exploiting these children, in my opinion, and exploiting the adults who are helping them to get fundraising for who knows what. This is why you really, really need to be careful about where you are sending money for this cause, specifically because of the urgency, right? The urgency is like chum in the water to scammers because they know that people are just so desperate to help that they are not checking and like verifying things enough. What's the name of that site that checks, that like verifies charities? Mariam is the one who runs Taboo Club and shows up to film. Yes, thank you. And that's the content that they're using, right? Oh, okay. And it's the same thing. He didn't take them down, just ignored him and continued to post them. Found out from my friend who initially uncovered those videos that these are a group of Pakistani men and women in the UK who sit outside of a mosque on Friday and fundraise 2,000 to 3,000 British pounds a week using these videos. They frequently show up to events in the guise of helping and take videos to post over the next weeks and months to continue fundraise, claiming those were their events. So literal scammers, in my opinion, in this person's opinion. We don't know where the money is going, but what we do know is that they purchase a very expensive property in Egypt in an area called Mountain View, where the properties are 20 million Egyptian pounds. I know this because my comrade who runs the Instagram page with me stayed there last year for 4 months in an Airbnb where she was paying $2,000 in rent per month. And she had considered investing in a property over there until she found out how expensive it was. So if they're not sending this money towards things that they're claiming they did, which are events that my group and other groups that I personally know on the ground have done, where are these funds going exactly? Right? Like, what are you doing with this money? You're not putting it back into the communities. You're not running events for these people, these refugees you care about. And if you go on Jacob's page, you can see right in his bio that he fundraises for Taboo Club. I want to just triple check that. Let me not dox my DMs. That would have been bad. Jacob Berger. Let's see if he's blocked me yet. Probably not, but yeah, he still hasn't responded to me. And he's already back to making dumb shit, dumb videos. Oh yeah, there's Taboo Club. Boys and Girls Club for Gaza Kids. And I assume this is using this. I mean, this looks sketchy as shit, man. This is it. It's just one page. Taboo Club is a grassroots healing space in Cairo for displaced mothers and children, many of whom have fled unimaginable trauma. Do we know how much of this is even true? If they're even doing anything in Taboo Club? This isn't a website. This is a single page. And they don't have an Instagram account. They don't have an Instagram page. Where did this go? They've gotten rid of their Instagram? I mean, it looks like it was Taboo Club, but now it's gone. I mean, this sounds like the kind of thing that the mutual aid organization is that they were talking about, that they DM'd me about, not what Jacob is doing. Oh, this is so sad that this fucking happens. He also claims that all the children and the videos that he posts are Taboo Club children when they are not. In fact, my friend's football club has existed longer than Taboo Club has. He also signed the lease for Taboo Club to have a space because he's Egyptian and they couldn't find anybody to sign for them. So he's taking advantage of like everybody in this situation. He is using an Egyptian man who is doing good for these children to fucking co-sign on a space on the lease. Oh yeah, Wayback Machine. Maybe we should try that. The woman named Rima. Her handle is Caucasian Arab. Oh, I saw her in the comments. Didn't we see her in the comments of Jacob's video? Was it here? Kate, don't dox yourself. It was under Jacob's. I swear I saw that name. It is like a pyramid scheme, right? Where like all the people involved comment on it. Hang on one second. This is important because I saw that name Caucasian Arab and I was like, it's an interesting name. Here it is. Okay. This guy's so obnoxious, I don't want to listen to him. Mute. But I do want to look at your comments. Okay. I swear I saw one that was Caucasian Arab. I stand with you forever and always. So this is the person. This is, what's the name? Rima. She's like besties with Jacob. She went on that trip with him back in August, and during that trip, they took the mothers on. There's a clip of her, on her page of her holding a child wrapped in a black cloak, and she's creepily staring at him while he's asleep and rocking him. Well, that feels like just opinion. That feels like opinion right there. The mother of that child is in that group. Okay, well, here's where it gets real. In the meantime, I do want to pull up. the... Oh, and it looks like the title of this video are the comments. I'm sorry we have people wanting to distract people's attention. That's what you're sorry about? You fucking asshole. All right, I just want to pull up this page and see what we got. So this is the person who is a Caucasian Arab. Listen, if I have things I want to say, but I won't say them. You know what I mean? What is happening here? Okay. So that is Rima, apparently. Okay, back in. The mother of that child that Rima is holding in this photo or video is in that group chat with me, and she messaged me privately as well and told me that that was her kid. He fell asleep in her arms after running around all day and playing, and she was holding him when Rima came up to her and said, "Let me hold him." And she said, "Why?" So the mother was holding her sleeping child, who has finally like gotten some comfort and rest, right? Like in a safe place. My son is sleeping, and she said, "Just let me hold him." So reluctantly, she handed her child over to this woman, just taking advantage of these people. It's unconscionable. In my opinion, this is worse than doing nothing. This is worse than like never talking about Palestine. Like you are invading these people's safe spaces, maybe the first safe space they've had in years. And they are kind of captive, right? They're a captive audience. They think that you're there to help. So they might be confused about what's going on. They don't know how much they're allowed to like push back against you because they're grateful. And you literally take a child out of his mother's arms? For what? Let's find out. She reluctantly handed her child over to this woman, and she walks to the other end of the park with this child and sat down in a chair, and another one of her group members followed her and started filming. They're like, oh yeah, get one of those Palestinian babies. That'll really send your numbers through the roof. This is so gross. Oh, I don't think we're going to talk about Joe Rogan and the whole hog thing tonight, so I'll just end that poll. We ain't got time. The video garnered the most views on her page. That's what's so gross, is that they're so cynical. They know that a child from Gaza is going to give them the most views. And so they are literally, in my opinion, based on these stories, taking sleeping children out of the arms of their mothers in order to capitalize on that. But these are the people that are shaming other people about their approach to Gaza and Israel and Palestine as a whole. Basically what she had put on the video read today, tomorrow, forever. And people, which is what she said in that comment, right? And people in the comment section were praising her for adopting a Palestinian child. And she did not refute a single claim. She just kept sending hearts. So she was making it look like she adopted an orphan child from Gaza? These are the people who think they have moral superiority over Ethan. Exactly. Because they have no moral fiber at all. No moral compass. And so they jump on shitting on Ethan, who is imperfect, right? Like all of us are. Again, to capitalize. Imagine being the mother of this child. And that mom messaged her multiple times to remove that video. I have the screenshots of the chain of DMs that she sent that went ignored. The video didn't go anywhere though. Oh my God, this is so gross. Jacob literally filmed himself in a swimming pool with all of those children. And imagine this man who used to make so-called comedy videos with porn actors in a swimming pool with a group of like 40 children. Okay, that's what he was doing on OnlyFans. I have those videos too, by the way. Gross. He frequently weaponizes Islam against Muslims by using the 5 Islamic words that he knows. Well, yeah, we saw him say, Allah will be your judge to a Muslim, right? During the March for Gaza, he and Rima and another grifter named Candy in the Kings all showed up even after all of the mutual aid groups on the ground warned over and over again to not show up for this because it was going to be damaging for what we were doing. And they told us to shut up because we're Zionists. Doesn't that sound familiar? If you critique us, you're Zionists. Saying that to mutual aid workers. The abuse of language, the semantic abuse is crazy. They showed up and advised their followers to take taxis to the Rafah border. The last time somebody tried to take a taxi over there, the taxi driver ended up being an intelligence officer. And the guy disappeared for 20 days before he resurfaced in his own country. We warned them not to put Egyptians at risk. Right, because they're going there, and all of these Egyptian young people think they're God's gift, right? Allah's gift, that they are these, white Americans who care about Gaza. So they show up, and they have these young Egyptians following them and doing what they say. And so they're telling these Egyptians to put themselves in harm's way. If you are a white person, you're in the activist space, it is your job to put yourself on the line. It is your job to put your body on the line. Not to tell brown people to do it. It's your job. You have more privilege and protection than anyone. You fucking cowards. We warned them not to put Egyptians at risk, and they did exactly that. And because people love to listen to influencers, they all decided to be stupid and try to take taxis. And all of those taxi drivers got arrested. Where were these so-called influencers after screwing over all these local Egyptians and activists that stupidly showed up from all over the world to do something that they never should have? They were sitting in a luxurious restaurant pretending like they were not involved in any way, shape, or form. Really makes you wonder where all that money went from all those scammy ass posts. Rima actually jet as quickly as she could get on a flight to New Jersey. And then she puts up a video of herself looking roughed up, as if she had gotten beaten up by the Egyptian police. She wasn't even there, and she messed up her own hair and made herself look askew to make it seem like she had been part of that brawl. Kind of like Jacob allegedly self-deporting and leaving behind Chris Smalls and the other activists on the Hundala. But then acting like he had been through something horrible. He's got a lot of people pulled into this pyramid scheme. Okay, these are some of the other creators, I'm not even calling them activists, that this person is alleging are involved in this scheme of just like farming clout for money. Quinn the Eskimo, Nicole Jenis, although we're still collecting evidence on her, so you can leave her out. Oops, sorry. We'll see what happens. Rima, Ramoon Foundation, Candy and the Kings, Taboo Club, Peace Foundation UK. So if you see those, might want to avoid them for a while. I did discuss this with my comrade for the mutual aid group, and she said, also, yes, send whatever you want to Kate. My friend's football club has not been affiliated with Taboo Club. I will cut out that little piece about that person. Since January, they tried to hijack it from him, and when he realized what they were doing, he broke all ties. But they continued to fundraise, claiming it was theirs, but my friend received nothing from them. So he's been fundraising on the back of this football organization and given nothing to them. He's been paying everything out of pocket and actively looking for a long-term sponsor because 300 children depend on that club. He's trying to get a lot of them scouted to professional clubs so that they have a chance of life outside Egypt, because in Egypt they can't even go to school, let alone work, because they're not Egyptian. I don't want to put him in a situation either because he is a local Egyptian, and what he's doing could get him into a lot of trouble, but I asked for his consent to share those screenshots with you. And he said yes, and in fact that he actually also sent me a response to the allegations that Jacob Berger made against him in the video the other day. So we also have the response of the football coach to Jacob's apology. That is coming up. The funny thing is, Jacob also mentioned those moms that they took on a trip, and he claimed that they were asking him for money. And he tried to explain to them that he couldn't give them the money because it would be haram. This is him, abusing his use of his knowledge of Arabic, right? And that he's never blocked anyone for asking him to show where the money is going. Well, a lot of people are saying that's not true. None of those mothers received a penny from him. They said they were brought on that trip with the false promises that these foreigners were going to help them out. So that's what I was wondering, how they got these women on this trip. Most of these mothers had children that were medically evacuated from Gaza. Which, by the way, in my bio, in my description below is the link to Heal Palestine, which is helping get injured children and their families from Gaza or from Egypt now to safe places where they can get medical care. Either in the Middle East, but there's a lot of them coming to the U.S. as well, to be fitted for prosthetics and have other life-changing, life-improving, life-saving surgeries. And this summer, they also are running a summer camp for these kids and their families. So it's an organization I really love. And you guys should check them out. Heal Palestine, Heal Palestine. They were not being helped by anybody else. Oh yeah, so he got them to go on this trip that basically he used to clout farm by supposedly telling these women that he was going to help them in some way. These women whose children have had limbs amputated, most likely, right? That needed medical evacuation. They were not being helped by anybody, so they were thinking they'd be able to receive some assistance to get their kids treatment and pay their rents. But all he did was take their photos and videos and try to fundraise more money, which he did. $50,000. And no one knows where it went. I really think the only way that Jacob gets out of this, he's not going to get out of this, is to make all of his finances public for all of these little shell organizations that he's allegedly part of. This is horrible, right? And for the claims he made that he didn't block anyone for questioning him, all of those moms are blocked. If he has since unblocked them to make himself seem innocent, I don't know. I bet he did. But I do have the screenshots from last August when they were messaging them nonstop to get them to remove the stuff, and they were all blocked. You have actual Palestinians begging you to take down the likenesses of themselves and their children who have been traumatized over and over again. And you fucking block them because, man, we're juicing. That post is doing numbers. We can't take that down. Disgusting. Fucking disgusting people. And the fact that Jacob Berger, I know, has shit on people who have not said stuff about Palestine or Gaza, haven't said enough about it, haven't said the right things about it. Well, he is apparently squatting in Gaza and trauma farming for clout and money to enrich himself while giving nothing to these people. I am so grossed out. I'm so grossed out. This is horrible. Okay, this is the response to Jacob's video from the football coach, football organization creator, the soccer guy. First of all, I'm the one who started the football program through this is the statement that he consented that we can read. Aliza Center, which existed before the existence of Taboo in the first place, but we do not have any social media pages because we do not care about publishing what we do for the sake of appearance in the image. Taboo is represented by Mariam, that was the woman that was filming that was asked to leave, who is the founder of Taboo, and she is the only one I used to deal with, and Jacob has nothing to do with anything. He just comes to the center and the club to take videos and pictures and then leaves. So he's not doing anything to benefit these children, in this person's opinion, the person who actually started the club. He is adding nothing of value to these children's lives, but he is taking their imagery, their images and their video and using them for his own gain. It's no wonder that, I mean, maybe it's an urban legend or an old wives' tale that Native Americans thought that photographs like stole your soul. This really feels like this guy is out here just like fucking taking the souls of children and putting them on his platform to make money. I let him take all the photos and videos with the children in the field because he always told me he was on a video call and it's not going to be posted anywhere. Oh my God. I don't know why that upsets me so much. The deception of that. The deception of, oh, I'm just on a video call. I'm not recording. I'm not filming anything. That is so disgusting. That is absolutely filming without consent. What a fucking piece of shit. And the fact that people are saying that this is a distraction, that calling this man out is a distraction, when he is actively taking advantage of children, Palestinian children, some of the most vulnerable, traumatized children on the fucking planet right now. I also didn't want to stop him from playing and having fun with the children. I mean, I thought this is his purpose. And because I always told the children that he was my friend, so they had no problem taking pictures with him. Right. He just like gained your trust, ingratiated himself, and took what was his. Absolute colonizer behavior, right? The last time he came to the club, I told him to stop taking pictures completely and that this is not allowed again. Gee, I wonder why that was his last time. After that, he completely stopped coming to the club and Taboo stopped supporting the program. As soon as he wasn't able to benefit from it, allegedly, he stopped coming and playing with the children. Maybe that was like the one little thing that he was doing to maybe add some value to these kids' lives, was playing and having a good time with them, making them laugh and smile. And he took that from them because he couldn't make money off them anymore. Again, these are the people who are shaming, who are the loudest people on the internet, shaming people for the way they talk about, think about, and react to this genocide. These are the people. These are the people who are shaming you in comment sections. People who support this fucking dirtbag. I challenged him to show a single piece of evidence that he obtained consent from any child who appeared in his videos from the football program. I am shocked by the video, not by what he said, but by the fact that he is publishing my conversations and defaming me, and I did not and will not care. Imagine adding this kind of strife and stress to the back of a man who has started a sports club for traumatized children refugees. Imagine that. Imagine trying to make this guy look bad. This alone is enough to prove how weak his position is. So never mind, we did the right thing and we don't have to get give these people our attention anymore. 100%. Okay, and here he is saying consent, no problem. I'm going to add something for it. Okay, so then he sent more. Send this too. The football program is still going on without interruption. This is making me want to cry. I'm already tired, but this is just making me want to cry. The football program is still going on without interruption, and more than 300 girls and boys are benefiting from it. I do not have to prove anything to anyone. That's fucking right. Aliza Community Center and the Aliza football team have their doors open to anyone who wants to come and connect with us and to see the one bright side in this toxic and fake world field. So here's Peace Foundation UK. This is the potentially scammy group that was taking photos and videos and posting them without consent. Thank you for your comment. Our person on the ground in Egypt doing it live, and the person got consent for everything. So they really thought that they weren't talking to the actual person. They thought it was just some like dumb social media intern. So allow your nonsense. Just because you have been caught stealing donors' money, you're getting jealous. I want to see the... Does anyone feel like Jacob wrote this? I feel like Jacob wrote this. Thank you, Billiam. I just was thinking the same thing. Because guess what we see down here? Allah is our witness. We do not steal from charity. Please have some shame. We are doing this for the children in Gaza. And you're talking about revenge and swearing. He definitely uses the wrong your. He definitely throws around Allah when he's talking to Muslim people. And it sounds drunk for sure. Okay, so basically this is them defending themselves. Have the day you deserve. I love that. And here's the Peace Foundation misusing the video. Can't believe they used your event. They even turned off the comments. With the help of the Peace Foundation and Taboo Club. But their actual mutual aid organization who put this together, not mentioned. I need to look up this fucking organization on here. Did anyone ever say what the... Oh, hang on. Peace Foundation. Peace Foundation UK, Instagram. I just want to see what they're posting. And the thing is, they're small, right? I don't even want to show much of this because there's kids in the pictures, but they're small. So like they feel like they can potentially do this kind of thing without getting caught. I don't know who those children are. So yeah, okay, so this is about Taboo Club, right? So this is the same shit. So they are sharing, let me just look quickly without y'all seeing. A lot of kids on here, and now, I mean, you look at this and you don't know if these kids are even, like, who's running these organizations? Who's running these activities, right? All right, so this is Taboo Club. Who we are? Let's see. I just want to see if there's like, you know, who is in charge. Our community in pictures, I can almost guarantee if all of this is true, then whatever they're posting as their community is not valid. It's never a good sign. What about like, what I want to see is like your board, any sort of like nonprofit information, if that's what you are, anything that sort of verifies that you are legit. Not seeing it here. Contact. Taboo Club, WhatsApp. No other information. Our mission. Our mission is to ensure that no one is defined by what they've been through. Great, love that. Nothing else. Yeah, this is a very, very thin website. If you've ever worked in nonprofit, you know that doesn't curl all the way over. Like, even if I wasn't if I didn't have like a 501c3 as one of those things, like, I would still put more information about what was going on so people could trust that their money was being well spent, you know? Okay. They even turned off comments. Yeah, we reported the crap out of this. Okay. So this is, okay, so these are the comments that they were talking about in the earlier things. We know Mohammed Siam from Lifeblood is behind this attack on Mariam and Taboo. And to be honestly, from our experience on the ground, we have found Taboo and Mariam the most honest and transparent person. Lifeblood can't even prove their packages. Also, they hang around known thieves in the charity business. It's just so strange to be like, you got personal issues going on. This is absolutely, in my opinion, Jacob writing this. Right? You got personal issues. That is not an English person saying that. Allah will protect us against any calamities, inshallah. He says inshallah in like all of his videos. All the innocent children that can't eat because of your ego and pride. Taking money to have the luxuries of this world. The call's coming from inside the house. The call's coming from inside the house. That's what you do. That is what you do. Insane, yeah. To do that as a Jewish person, like a non-Muslim person, to try to use Allah as like some sort of a like a pawn, a manipulation tactic is crazy. Okay, so these are just all the screenshots, and I don't know, there might be stuff in here that I don't want to share. Let's see. This is some background. Let me see if I have. I don't want to share too much about the actual mutual aid organization, so I'm not going to show you that. Okay, so this is just a little context of how this person who contacted me today knows Jacob. I don't know how or why he found my account and started following, because I didn't even have a platform back then. Not that I have one now, but it was during the lockdown and he started following me, so I followed back, seeing he was also an actor. Then I started seeing the kind of content he would post, all like the cop hanging out with black people content. And then the BLM movement happened, and I heard about how many times he tried to infiltrate and people would kick him out. So the Black Lives Matter movement was not with Jacob Berger's shits, and I love that. So it's really baffling to me why they let him infiltrate this movement so easily. And I said to her, them, that I think it happened, like I've said, is because there's such an urgency and it's so desperate, right? Like the Black Lives Matter movement was ongoing, sporadic, in relation, in like relative to a genocide. It was ongoing, sporadic police brutality that led to the death and injury of black people, right? It wasn't on like the scale of tens of thousands of people dying in like a day, right? So I think they had a little more breathing room to take a closer look at people that were trying to get in, and not just get in, but also center themselves. And I also think that black activists in general have seen this shit before, right? From white people. They have seen charismatic, quote unquote, because he's not, charismatic white people sweep into a movement, try to be the white savior, when really they're just trying to stroke their own ego. I think that is a new beast for the pro-Palestine movement. And Jacob is apparently taking advantage of that. All right. We have come to maybe the juiciest part of the evening. In addition to this person, also thank you to this person for reaching out to me and trusting me with all of this information. I hope that I am doing you justice. I hope that I am doing you justice here. American activists know to be on the lookout, but who would expect anything this disgusting? Exactly. In addition to these DMs, I was contacted by someone who knows Jacob personally, and they have known him for, according to them, 35 years. I have gotten verification from this person that they know him, because just know that I trust that they know Jacob. I was given some very personal information. So they said that I am allowed to share this stuff with you, so I'm going to share it. They said don't share my name, but their name is not in any of this information, so we should be good. So here we go. Here is an insight into Jacob Berger, the private citizen, the non-activist, like what people in his real life think about him. This is what I received yesterday, I believe. Started yesterday and continued into today. Hey, Kate, I just wanted to let you know the segment you did on Jacob is 1000% correct. I've known him for 35 years. Don't speak anymore, of course. He is a disgusting, vile human, and your videos couldn't be more accurate. Again, this is all alleged from someone who reportedly has known him for over 3 decades. And I personally verified that they know him. No one from his family speaks with him. He is doing all of this for attention. No one from his family speaks with him. In my head, it's his mom already. I honestly have no idea who this is. I have some thoughts, but I don't want to speculate. None of his childhood friends speak with him, and neither do any of his family members, with the exception of his mom. He's nice to her because he needs a free place to stay. Yes, according to this guy, girl, person, I just assume so much by the way things are written. Like both of these people that messaged me had like nothing in their bio, nothing as their profile picture that said anything either way, right? But according to this person, Jacob Berger is living with his mother, his elderly mother, for free. Cheeto stays undies is my basement. And there's nothing wrong with living with your family, right? There's nothing wrong with that necessarily. But if we now realize that you are maybe scamming a lot of money and also bragging about how much you make, and you're living with your elderly mother, yeah, not cool. Appreciate if you please do not share my name. That's fine. Your name is nowhere. But all of his old friends he grew up with are in shock regarding how the general public were able to get such an accurate depiction of Jacob. Well, we're working on that. The general public still seems to think he's like some kind of a hero. We thought it would never happen. So people in his community have just been watching Jacob get all of this acclaim, knowing that it is completely unearned. And they are feeling relieved that this is finally happening. That finally people are seeing his true colors. This is even juicier than I expected. I told you it wasn't clickbait. Jacob is only ever focused on himself. Over the past years, he's clashed with everyone around him. He is hated. Even his own family has distanced themselves. His father can't stand him, and his brother hates him in capital letters. Shocking, right? He thrives on attention. After failing as an actor and watching his Instagram porn skits flop, I am so grateful that I have not seen those. And I'm just learning about them now. I assume this is like the porn stars in the pool that the other person was talking about. He latched onto the Palestine movement as his new stage to stay relevant. He does not care about any of this. He is openly repulsive and talks disrespectful to everyone, knowing that if anyone touches him, he's going to go to the cops. All of this honestly checks out. There's more. Don't worry. There's more. But reading that, seeing that he's like very trigger happy to go to the cops, and that he like decided to cosplay as a cop, I'm like, is law enforcement in his family and he wasn't like smart enough to become a cop? Or like, is there some law enforcement connection close to him, you know, that he feels kind of comfortable putting that costume on? And by the way, this is someone that is almost certainly now saying like ACAB and, you know, all this other shit, defund the police, right? Because that's what's cool to say. Like, that's what on TikTok is popular to say. It might not be popular in like the general population, but where he is farming engagement, that kind of stuff is popular, right? Jacob will do anything for fame, but he won't attend fundraisers or events unless he's getting free clothes, meals, or some kind of payout. So if he's showing up places, that's because he's being paid in some way, allegedly. At 40, he's broke and still living with his mother in Riverdale. Once the Palestine issue fades, he'll turn to his 1 million followers begging for donations under the guise of having sacrificed everything. Well, he's already doing like, oh, I'm being attacked. For the cause. This has always been a money grab. If each follower gives $1, Jacob becomes a millionaire. There's so much more, but if it's given, then he'll know who it is. Okay, so this person says, if I give you more information, he'll know who's saying it, right? I have to keep them private too. And also, it would be giving up other people who feel the same that wanted this shared. They've requested to not be involved. I don't want to be involved. I just want you to know you're 100% accurate with the path you're taking on it. So I said, I have one question. Do you know if he has drug and alcohol issues? Because this was just a question I had. And they said, yes, all of the above, coke. And they said that he does everything. And then I said, how long ago did he start being a total nightmare? This was literally 9:25. This was 5 minutes before the show. How long ago did he start being a total nightmare? Like, how long have you and others been estranged from him? He's always been like this. Once he became IG famous, he started acting like he was better than everyone. Even people he came up with on IG collabs stopped speaking to him. Extremely addict coded, right? Coke as in cocaine, yeah. Because I was like, he seems drunk. Like, I always thought he seemed really drunk. But apparently it's coke, according to this person who purports to know him very well, along with everything else. This person said everything else is also on the table as far as drug abuse goes with Mr. Berger. So, yeah. I mean, I think it doesn't get clearer than that, right? That we have someone from the inside, someone who is, boots on the ground doing activism in Egypt, multiple people saying that in Egypt he is causing harm and taking advantage of people, right? Okay, cool. And then we also have this person from his past who claims that they have known him for 35 years, asserting that everybody hates him, that he's an opportunist, that he's a drug addict, and that he's just doing this all for money. You know, it's hard to think that this stuff isn't at least somewhat true. You know, sometimes, maybe their family doesn't like them, but the activist community thinks they're great. Or the activist community has, comes out with problems with them, but their family's like, no, he's a really good guy. Like, I don't know what this is about and why they're saying this. And then you're like, well, then where is the truth? To me, it seems like everybody agrees that he is a dirtbag. In some of the DMs, I guess I missed it. I missed publishing it, but he said that Jacob apparently brags about making $6,000 a week as an influencer. How much of that is being donated to Palestinian causes, and how much of it is not? And how much is he fundraising, and what portion of that fundraising goes to him? We do not know. But here we are. I want to say thank you again to the people who were brave enough to come forward about this. It is not easy, and it's growing. And as we saw, this has been something that has been bothering some of the activist community since as early as January this year. That, he was starting to, and maybe before that, because he started living in Egypt back in August, right? But they've all it started coalescing, it sounds like, in January. Oh, I also found out that apparently a couple of activists who all have learned this information about Jacob leading up to his time on the flotilla, which he used to solicit nudes from people, they tried to get him removed from the flotilla. They didn't want him besmirching the image and the reputation of this trip to Gaza, right? To break the barricade. But by the time any sort of momentum started, they were already on board the flotilla, and no one had their real phones. They all had burners, so no one could be reached. So there was an attempt to get him kicked off the flotilla as well. Bruh, how can someone be so vile on the fucking flotilla? I know. Also, anytime I read flotilla, I just see tortilla. Am I the only person? Imagine being on the flotilla with that freak. Yeah, that's what I wonder, because I see like Chris Smalls like on all of Jacob's stuff, but I need to look into like Chris Smalls and see if he is also sharing Jacob, or if it's just like Jacob putting all of this like using his image the way he does with children, allegedly in Palestine. All right, let's see if we can see Jacob at all in these posts. Oh, there's one. Okay, so he does. Oh, there's one. Okay, yeah. But also, it seems like it's Jacob kind of jumping into some things. But yeah, they're apparently friendly at least. But hopefully the truth will be set free sooner than later. Tortilla flotilla. Tortilla.
You've got mail.
Alex _
Shit.
fiction gave $2. Tortilla flotilla, tortilla flotilla, tortilla.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Chris Smalls is his latest human shield. Exactly. They made him the face of the U.S. coalition because they suck at vetting. He self-deported the minute the boat got intercepted. Exactly. Well, and he even posted like a joke video about like, oh, I took off my hat and I made sure they saw my yarmulke. Like, that's like a joke, but not really. That seems like it's exactly what you did. I have a feeling a lot more people in the pro-Palestine movement are more similar to Jacob than we think. Well, I do think that there are a lot of, there seem to be at least a group of bad actors, but that's always going to happen in a movement. I don't think that this should cast any large doubts on the fact that the majority of people who are in this movement, first of all, have been in it since before October 7th. Have been fighting for a free Palestine for years and years and years and decades, right? And are carrying on a lot of the time the struggle of their parents, their grandparents, their great grandparents, right? But desperate causes are, like I said, chum in the water to scammers, opportunists, and narcissists. They all want a piece. They can see how the numbers explode when you post suffering children. I got so much shit kind of early on in all of this because I saw Sean King just posting horrible videos and images without any kind of warning or any kind of like space. About the suffering that was happening in Gaza, right, toward the beginning of things. And I called it trauma porn because that is what it is. He did it during the Black Lives Matter movement, too. Just showed black people getting the shit kicked out of them and being killed on camera. Without a warning, without just like a cover slide, nothing. Was just subjecting people to that, not considering that a lot of people scrolling are black. And they deserve the space to decide whether or not they want to see that. And then he did it again with Gaza. And it's the same thing that ContraPoints talked about with Hassan, where you are just creating and farming all of this outrage, but you're not giving people an outlet for it. You're not showing them where to put it. You're not giving them any sort of call to action, right? So then they just start sniping at each other. But as long as they're clicking, that's all that matters. So yeah, I lost like thousands and thousands and thousands of followers because I said that Sean King is trafficking in trauma porn and re-traumatizing people. And this is something that one of my black friends told me. That they go to Instagram to like decompress. And then shit from Sean King pops up and it's just more black people being mutilated. Like, this isn't something that I just came up with. He gives them an outlet to harass Ethan. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they need a scapegoat. And then, you know, Ethan stepped out of line and Hassan didn't correct or stop them, right? And that became one of the funnels. And then ContraPoints was a funnel, like, because you can actually reach those people. You can't reach Netanyahu from here, right? Unless you're Steiny. Call back. Hassan traffics in terrorist pornographic stuff. Yeah, definitely there's terrorist porn there too. But yeah, so to me, it's like the same shit. And I have felt it since the beginning, but I haven't said much because I know what the reaction's going to be. Because there's just all this like unbridled, unchanneled, disorganized rage happening because people are so upset. Thank you, Chris.
You've got mail.
Chris Blessing gave $5. Right.
So yeah, this is the same kind of opportunistic shit that we saw in Black Lives Matter, but it's even worse with this issue because it's a literal genocide, right? And people are just so desperate that there is no time to slow down and push people to take accountability, but we have to find the time, right? Because this isn't just like, oh, that guy's kind of weird, right? He's allegedly taking advantage of a lot of people who were impacted by the genocide, who are refugees in Egypt, right? So we can't just let that slide. That's not a distraction. That is the work. He is harming people. He's using them as toys, as props, as accessories, right? Like that can't be allowed to go unchecked. There has to be an arm of activism that is about rooting out the evil in the movement. And we can't keep silencing that and saying that it's distracting and it's unproductive. Because who thrives in that environment? Rapists, thieves, liars, narcissists, cult leaders, right? It's not vulnerable people who thrive in that environment. It's people who benefit from vulnerable people being silenced. That's why I never get upset when someone calls me a Zionist or pro-genocide or a genocide lover or an Israel lover, because I don't respect you. If you're saying that to someone like me, I don't respect you. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And your opinion doesn't matter because you are not working with a full deck of cards. You are just acting on your rage, which I understand, but you are letting that rage blind you to the actual villains, the actual wolves in sheep's clothing. It's not people like me who are like, maybe Hamas is also not great. Their stuff hasn't worked so far. Maybe we should try and think of something different and listen to the Palestinians who are saying Hamas is not great. I'm not the enemy, right? For saying that. These people are not the enemies for calling out the abuse of trust, the misuse of funds, allegedly. The enemies are the people that are taking advantage of refugees. And using the bodies of these of people in this situation to their own benefit, not just to raise awareness, but because they know the body of a bloody child is going to get way more views than a video of them dancing in the street in a shitty Party City police officer uniform. Not everyone is doing the work from a place of good, and that has to matter. The intention has to matter. It's not unproductive to hold people in an activist space to the standard of liberation, right? Because this is some white, cishet, white, patriarchal bullshit that Jacob Berger is doing, allegedly, right? He's bashing into these movements. He is trying to co-opt them for his own gain. He is literally or allegedly taking advantage of people in several different ways, right? We have making kids pretend they're orphans, making women pretend they're widows when their husbands are still alive in Gaza. We have people that are friends with Jacob holding Palestinian babies and getting clout off of pretending they adopted them. How is it unproductive to not call these people out? It's not divisive. It's only divisive to call these people out if you are backing up the narcissists and the sociopaths who are using this to their own advantage. Why can't we all agree that he sucks and we don't need him? We don't need every single voice if they are not coming from a place that genuinely cares about the people. And until I see all of Jacob Berger's finances, which apparently might be all up his nose, until I see public record of where all of his funding, all of his fundraising, all of his donations, where those have gone, and also his own revenue as a content creator and how much of his own money he is actually putting back into these causes. Until I see that, I don't give a shit what he says about people being jealous. They're not jealous. They're angry, and they should be angry. Are we forgetting he straight up essayed a black woman and the reaction was caught on camera? Yeah. Grabbed crackhead Barney's breast the day Chris Smalls got home. Like, we literally saw what the person was talking about, how he shows up to events and just causes chaos and gets asked to leave. We saw the aftermath. He apparently sexually assaulted crackhead Barney and then called her a fat fuck when she stood up to him. 40-year-old squatting in his mama's house, apparently making $6,000 a week off the backs of Palestinian children that he lies about. Okay, I need to go. My voice is raw, and if I'm going to do timestamps before I pass out, I need to leave now. But thank y'all for being here. Yeah, I thought we got some good juice tonight, right? There was some real tea. There was some real tea going on tonight. So yeah, if you follow Jacob Berger, if your friends follow Jacob Berger, let him know. Let him know he might not be the best guy. He might not be the best representative. It's just so upsetting. And shout out to the actual aid organizations, mutual aid organizations on the ground in Egypt that are doing the work. So it was a real Jason Derulo hog of a stream for sure. All right, y'all. I will see you Wednesday. The in-laws will have gone, and I will hopefully be back at 100%. See y'all next time. Bye.